Ryan Buckley with the SportsCenter update. First on the Fan, Week 11 in the NFL kicks off tonight with the Commanders visiting the Eagles. Newly acquired defensive back Marshawn Lattimore out for Washington. Kickoff is at 5:15 on Amazon Prime. The Eagles are 4-point home favorites. Meanwhile, former Duck and current Broncos QB Bo Nix won Week 10 Rookie of the Week honors for his play in last week's loss to Kansas City. In the college ranks, Ducks quarterback and Heisman hopeful Dylan Gabriel has been named a finalist for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. He'll compete for the award with Colorado's Sugar Sanders, Jackson Dart of Ole Miss, Indiana's Curtis Rourke, and Miami's Cam Ward. Oregon head coach Dan Lanning joins us here on Primetime at 4 o'clock today. And in baseball, reports indicate that Mariners play-by-play man Dave Sims will leave Seattle and head to the Bronx, where he'll replace John Sterling as the Yankees play-by-play voice. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley, the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
This is your home for year-round NFL coverage. The Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
What's the most resilient parasite?
Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
Can build cities, can transform the world, and rewrite all the rules.
That's what I'll be doing every single night.
Which is why
No.
I have to steal it.
What are you talking about, Willis?
This is Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
It's gonna work. It's passable, okay? This isn't terrible.
The best in local, regional, and national sports. With no hidden agenda. Primetime with Isaac and Sue on 1080 The Fan.
Hey, what it do?
Boy!
What's up? What are you guys doing out there?
Not.
Got her off the ground, huh?
Got her off the ground right before the runway.
A little wobbly there,
ended.
but hey, you know, something wrong. No.
We're up in the air.
We're good. We're good. You ever have that when you're taking off and you just, with all of the aeronautical knowledge that you've accumulated over your years, you're like, something doesn't feel right.
There's
Like,
a little wibble wobble, and you're like,
yeah, you're like, I don't know. You feel like is that engine working harder than it's supposed to? I'm like, I don't like the way we're leveling off this soon. Yeah, you just start like going through your head. You're like, I don't know. I don't like it.
Why have we not taken off yet? Why have we not taken off yet? Why have we not taken off yet?
I just love all the different ways that we self-diagnose something with our massive knowledge. Yeah. I read an article on that. I don't like it. Like all of a sudden, like all the health experts, the internet made us smarter and dumber all at the same time.
How's everybody?
Doing good.
can I just say it looks like you guys are ready to go camping together today?
Yeah, I know. It kind of turned into that.
We got some
a little-
flannels.
Yeah, you guys got the Northwest rugged look going on.
Yeah, bro.
you know?
And I'm wearing corduroy. I got a corduroy hat
there's that
on.
whole vibe going.
We're no
Yeah.
Boomer and Geo.
No, that's more of a quarter zip kind
New
of a
York City
situation.
bros.
It is a little weird when we kind of coordinate and yet
Got to coordinate.
it's just kind of a spontaneous thing. Well, we our cycles,
Well,
they
look,
sync after 20 years.
We're Northwest men.
Yeah.
We're men of the Northwest.
It did feel like kind of a flannel day. I woke up this morning
Yes.
and I was like, you know what? It does. It feels a little flannelly outside. Got to go with a Pendleton button up. Maybe tomorrow will be a Filson. I don't know.
I had to go get undressed for multiple men today,
Nice.
so therefore I wore a button up. It's just easier to take on and off.
Did you have a man take off your pants?
Not my pants. Thank God. Not this time.
As you went in to get your shoulder looked at, if
Yeah.
someone's taking off your pants,
Take off your shorts and dunk me.
Yeah, why did he not take off my shirt and he took off my pants?
Take off your shirt and throw me.
it's a little
Why did that happen?
it's a little uncomfortable. But hey, it's a doctor's. He can,
And then he's like, your shoulder's fine.
you pretty much do what you want.
Well, guys, big show. Dan Lanning coming on today. I am told that this might be Dan Lanning's last appearance this season
Really?
on the program.
He's done, huh?
I'm cooking on your grill.
He's had,
Yeah,
he's had
because-
enough of this crap.
Well, no,
Not so much.
no. Next week is a bye.
Yeah.
And
And
typically
then-
they don't do buys.
The week after that is Thanksgiving. And then there's a big recruiting week where he's usually out of pocket.
Yeah.
And then
And then it's technically the postseason.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
then-
kind of a regular season deal.
postseason is, that gets into
I
contracts
feel
and
like a lot of
what he's obligated to do. And so I think this
whoa.
this might be it.
He's not doing this out of the goodness of his heart. He's
Can't
doing
you
this,
tell?
He's doing this because of a contract.
I'm going to ask him that today. I'm like, how much do you hate doing this?
You know what? I'm going to cook on your grill.
What do you think his answer will be?
I think he'll.
I don't mind talking to y'all.
He'll do some sort of like that.
He'll say that.
He'll say that.
I don't mind, but
yeah,
we got a lot of work to do, so
look,
I'd like to get back to that. But
I don't think anyone's under any illusions of grandeur here that this without some sort of signed media contract. Dan Lanning not in out of the goodness of his heart coming on this program.
We were just talking about that. Like we've had him on. Have we had him on all 3 years?
Yes,
we have.
We have
every week.
Yeah, we've done a weekly with him all 3 years.
Wow, time flies.
Yeah, it does. And he's he's fine. He's
different this year.
Yeah, you just know that he's not. This is not his priority. Given the choice, and most coaches are like this.
Except for Mike Riley.
Yes, Mike Riley was. I think
back in the day. Now
I think he enjoyed talking to people and getting to know people.
I think that guy. I think the best part of his day was coming on our show.
Well, there are certain coaches that enjoy.
Where
it
have
more
you
than
guys
others.
been?
Yes, I don't think Dan Lanning will ever give us where have you guys been.
Well, also, where do you think of the things that happens in Dan Lanning's day? Where do you guys rank? If Mike Riley ranked you guys number one on his things to do, where do you fall on Lanning's list?
Very, very low, and I will tell you.
But
that
maybe not last. I bet there are other things he has to do that he doesn't want to do more.
We're pretty close to last because of the time of it.
Yeah.
From what I understand,
Yeah,
his
he's
days
getting
are
ready to go home.
He likes to front load this stuff.
Yeah.
And so the timing is not great.
So someone's in. I can tell he doesn't enjoy his time with you. Thank you.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Yeah.
But that's not all the time. Sometimes he has a great time with us.
Yeah, he just doesn't. It's that's not a personal thing. He does not want to do interviews. He's one of these coaches.
It's the situation. He wants to be working.
Or
he wants to be at home.
He's one of these coaches who is just, if his mind is not on the game, what's in front of him, the task ahead of him, then it is not useful.
Yes.
That's it.
I've been around many, many coaches that are like that.
Yeah.
That are really, really bright, engaging guys. And, I've heard stories. I've never, outside of the combine, talking to him, I've never had any sort of meaningful conversation with Bill Belichick, but I've had friends that have played there. And they will tell you that if you get him away from football, he's a very engaging, fun guy. And you're starting to see that now a little bit, right? When he's doing
mermaid bits.
Mermaid bits. I think he's really good on the Manning
His
cast.
whole girlfriend, the mermaid
Oh, the
thing.
mermaid.
Yeah, the mermaid thing. Oh my God, that's weird. But
Hot and weird.
She is hot.
She's 23.
Yeah, I think at 23 you're de facto hot. Like if you're just thin and 23, chances are you're kind of hot. It's like the best you're ever going to look. Saban's this way. I think Saban's an incredible personality away from the game of football. Him and Pat McAfee seem like best bros. It's great. So I just think it's a matter of getting someone away from I don't know, the obsessive day-to-day nature. I'm guessing that if you caught Dan Lanning in the offseason and we were sitting around and we were having some beers, I think he would be a very enjoyable guy and a very what would you say? Like, I don't know. I think he would be a good hang.
He'd be like a normal grounded dude. He'd be a fun guy.
That's why people like him.
Yeah.
But we're in the throes of it. They're number one. They only have 2 games left.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on, baby.
Yeah. I mean, the
Gotta
percentage.
stay focused.
The percentage of them getting to the playoffs, it's like 90-something%.
Oh, they're going to the playoff.
They're going to the playoff. I mean, barring
Playoff.
Some sort of I don't know, giant hole swallowing up half the team, some portal to hell. Oregon's going, and then from there, the expectations begin because I do think that the season they've had. And being number one, and not just number one, but consensus number one. Like we talk about this every year that there's usually 1 or 2 teams that you look at and you're like, I don't want anything to do with that. It's kind of Oregon, like that. Like you're the team. No one thinks that there's a team right now that's better than Oregon. I mean, it's almost a universal sort of.
Not
groupthink.
true. I heard something today actually that
someone do you?
Well, I have some numbers prepared. We're gonna have a segment later called Num Num Numbers.
Oh, I love num numbers.
And part of it is from the gambling perspective.
Oh, okay.
There are a lot of sharp players who do not think Oregon is the best team in the country, and far from it.
I was going with maybe then the pundits.
Correct.
Like everyone that I listen to, and I try to absorb a lot of different voices. I just think it's the best way to kind of get a general feel for any sport is to try to listen to as many voices that are educated as possible. No offense, a lot of people in the media are not.
Yeah.
But I try to pick and choose who I listen to, and a lot of people that I respect their opinion. by a lot. I mean, all of them think Oregon's the best team. So Oregon will be judged not on, I don't even think they're going to be judged on what happens in the Big Ten title game. I mean, to be honest with you, because it outside of getting the bye, you will be judged more so on what happens come playoff time. This is the new world where, dude, Penn State's going to get in. And that will do nothing to reduce the heat on James Franklin. If they get in and host a playoff game, and I don't know, they get Ole Miss or someone, and Ole Miss comes in and wipes the floor with them, even if they lose like they did against Ohio State on a 4th and goal, you think that James Franklin's going to be able to sit up there to the people of Happy Valley and be like, we made the playoff? You're making me uncomfortable. And they're going to look through and be like, hey, James, what was your best win? We beat Michigan. You're speaking Japanese. So, this is a new era for Oregon in that I don't think getting to the playoff anymore. I just don't think that's where this season is going to be judged.
Yeah, it's interesting. Lanning and Oregon is, kind of the belle of the ball right now.
Yeah.
But what happens if the very real scenario happens where they lose 2 more times and it's both to Ohio State when it matters most, much like the 2 Washington losses?
It will be giantly disappointing.
Then what does the narrative become? Because then it's like the only real big win was the regular season one, the least important one.
Yeah. Well, and he's about to find out, and he knows, but there's a handful of programs in the country that are different, and they're judged differently. And he has established this, and the culture that's been built here for the last 30 plus years have led to this. But you're killing it in recruiting. You're the number 1 team. You have arguably the biggest win of the year.
You come on our show.
You come on this program. You cook on their grill. I mean, my God, it's big boy time, to the point where, like, going on the road to Wisconsin, I don't know. I just, everyone now at this point is like, whatever.
14-point favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like there, gambling boy?
I think I like the Ducks.
Buckley.
I like the Ducks.
Yeah, I wasn't talking to Steve.
I was going to say, Buckley yesterday when we were leaving the air, if you want to know that someone's got a problem, we asked, Rob asked Buckley, like, in the last break, or maybe even going off the air.
Yeah.
Hey, you got anything going on tonight? And Buckley goes, yeah, there's 3 MAC games. Yeah. And Rob goes, you got any action? And he goes, yeah, all 3 of them. When you're betting on 3,
let's go.
3 Monday night.
We went 2-1.
MACtion games?
Well, last night was Wednesday night.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
You awake over there? Yeah, last night.
Why did I think that was Monday night?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah, Wednesday
But he's got his YouTube TV. Did you figure out how to get the YouTube TV
It's a
boxes?
yes, but they don't allow you to just pick any channel in the lineup to throw up there.
They do. They do on mine.
It's not letting me on mine. Maybe I need a different premium service. I can let you come check it out in the break because I have it right here.
He's already got his action up for tonight.
No, I don't.
Because on YouTube TV, you can do your own quadrants of games.
I cannot do that on mine.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I have to do the old school flip back and forth.
And then if you want to hear one over another, you just put the cursor on that one.
But if you want to know what Gambling Boy is upset about, the freaking Blazers. What are they doing? Why do they keep winning?
Yeah. I didn't expect that.
I don't think many people did.
They won.
Although I am fascinated because I will not poop on what happened last night. That was cool.
It was great.
That was a great
good
time.
game.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's just not what I'm expecting at all.
Well, no, but I also love
players only meeting, baby.
Well, I'm listening to my favorite morning show, and in case you didn't know, the Blazers are great, and Blazer Twitter, like, Donovan Clingan can play 30 minutes every night. This is what you can expect. Shaedon Sharp is the second best shooting guard in the NBA. And
Baby Kobe, I think.
Yeah, Baby Kobe.
Been calling him.
I love
Baby Kobe.
I love the swing.
Yikes.
3 days ago, this was the worst thing that has ever happened in the city of Portland. And you beat the Timberwolves twice. And by the way, that was equal parts. The Blazers were awesome. And Minnesota
They're
was
a mess.
Garbage.
They might be a mess.
Absolute garbage.
Yeah, they got some issues, don't they?
Dude.
Yeah,
oh my God.
They have a Blazers issue, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody does.
Dude, they couldn't have played.
Is that 3 wins over them?
At least 2.
Loser.
I don't know if
They beat them. They played them earlier in the year.
Did they beat
I think they beat them, didn't they?
They have like all their wins against the Pelicans and Timberwolves.
Anthony Edwards shot 0 from the 3-point line and just kept jacking them.
Bring gas.
They shot like 20-something% overall from beyond the arc.
I see I'm a for Game 7.
They have no offense to speak of whatsoever. I mean, it was atrocious. And Portland played great.
Oh no, they lost the first game.
But I just think it's adorable that we went from the worst team ever and fired Chauncey and all this to now everything's great. People are like, see? Why is Klingon on a minutes restriction? He can play 30. Dude, I thought he was going to die at the end of that game. Dude, that dude was giving you everything he had.
8 blocks.
You realize that you can't do that 80 times.
You can try, though.
That dude is sitting in an ice bath right now, but that dude was an absolute monster last night. And we've seen glimpses of Sharp before, not to that level. I mean, it was a career high, but we've seen him have these games and then he'll disappear for long stretches. So it was such a cool night, but it's just funny how the narrative shifts.
Well, Dirt has been on the side of
so much.
What are you guys doing when you do this? Yeah, it's a fun moment for everybody at the arena, but you're really just going to stay here in purgatory if you keep doing
Well,
this.
I think the idea is just play the young guys, right? Well, that's what it is. It's if you're why play your best players? You don't want to win. Yeah. So Grant, Williams, Ayton, if they're hurt, great. Just play Klingon.
Yeah.
Just play Sharp. Play whoever's healthy.
Or trade those guys right now. Get whatever you can
and
for
if
them.
you do that, you hope you lose a lot of games.
Yeah.
I mean, they will.
Yeah.
And then if you don't, then that means that the young guys are progressing.
But
right?
they're beating playoff teams.
I just think it's
the Pelicans aren't now.
Slow down.
See, that's what I'm saying. It is amazing.
Hold on, everybody.
The Pelicans are not a playoff team. The Pelicans are
not this year. They aren't. Last year.
Horrid team, and Minnesota has serious problems. But you win this game, and all of a sudden, all the evils of the world, and as someone points out, the future is now.
That's
Imagine
right.
Flag with all these future Hall of Famers.
The future is now.
Oh my! When did all of these guys become all NBA players? Just the last 48 hours?
Magic
The
Johnson.
last 2 nights.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you
I'm
little
going to that
bitch.
lake.
By the way, right on pace for that coveted number 11 pick.
Someone pointed out sitting atop the NBA in-season tournament standings. Thank you very much.
All that being said, watching that last night was really fun. That was and talking to people that were there.
I bet it was.
That's probably as electric.
That environment looked great
as that building has been in a long time. And having been there a couple nights before to watch that, whatever the hell that was against Memphis, I'm pissed that I went to that one and not either one of the Minnesota games.
All right, let's talk about. Well, it's not NBA. It's not the subject of our poll question. No. You know what it is?
What do we got?
Boxing.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. That's not boxing. That's not.
Boxing.
That's not boxing. I know what you're
Foxy boxing?
That's foxy boxing. And hopefully an old man doesn't die.
We'll get to that next on The Fan.
The home of Dirt and Spray.
I'm Dirt.
There wasn't a whole lot of shock and couldn't believe what was happening. This team was prone to lose to a San Jose State-esque team. You can pass on this Oregon State team even with their guys back. And I wasn't really sitting there stunned. What's stunning to me is just how inept they look, and they're coming off of a bye.
Dirt and Spray. Weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on 1080 The Fan.
Now, here's a quick look at Portland traffic.
Heavy slowdowns if you're going westbound Interstate 84, beginning at 28th Avenue, heading over the Interstate Bridge into Vancouver. It's going to be about a 40-minute drive. If you're heading to 217, it's only a 15-minute drive. I'm Ken Luttrell with traffic.
This traffic report brought to you by Guardian Roofing.
Hey, it's Lori from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. With exciting news, we now offer
Yeah, a couple of folks on the Vancouver Ford text line, 503-864-6326. They said the phones have not been working all day.
Yeah, so
because we had a big Rob Mullins interview today on Dusty's show.
They turned us down to go on with Dusty because he's Mr. Duck.
Yeah, so they didn't get him because of a phone issue.
I believe the phone issue is resolved.
That's what they're saying.
Well, we'll see.
We'll find out in about 39 minutes.
That's right.
A lot of big talk.
Poll question on X at 1080 The Fan. Yesterday we asked you which franchise is in the worst shape. 33% of you said Dallas Cowboys, 30% Carolina Panthers, 25% Jets, and only 12% said the Raiders. Boy, the Raiders are getting a pass.
Yeah, they stink something awful.
They do.
And Antonio Pierce.
And they're kind of never good.
No,
but
need a new coach.
Nobody really seems to care.
Coordinators. They got a good tight end. No one's paying any attention, but Brock Bowers, who I was in love with.
He's awesome.
Dude, that guy is the real stinking deal.
And even without a real quarterback, he's been really good.
Yes. I mean, some of the rookies, Malik Neighbors before he got hurt, phenomenal, right? BTJ down in Jacksonville, phenomenal. Marvin Harrison starting to come around a little bit, slow start. Arizona's got a little something cooking. Brock Bowers, arguably right now a top 3 tight end in the NFL. There's some nice rookies, and then of course that Jaden Daniels.
He won a Heisman. Did you know that?
Hey, did he win a Heisman along with Marcus?
That's right.
I don't know if you've been watching what he's doing in Washington, but it's a hell of a rookie class right now.
Yeah, he plays tonight, huh?
That's
right.
I'm
kind of geeked about that.
Good matchup.
Good little game.
Yeah.
Good little game.
Same division, both teams with 7 wins.
Yeah.
The Raiders, I just looked it up. So remember when they were in the Super Bowl?
I do.
I know you do because you were there.
Yes.
2002.
Mm-hmm.
Do you care to guess how many times they've been to the playoffs since then?
Maybe 3?
2.
Yeah, they're bad.
2. You care to guess how many 10 or more win seasons they've had since that?
2.
2.
2. Yeah, they and I don't
That's
know,
dos if
and
you
I
speak
don't-
Spanish.
I don't know why we give them a break.
I don't either.
On being
That's what I'm saying.
Well, and every time I bring up the Raiders and what a bad organization they are, there's like this pushback, and I'm like, what? We don't do this with any other franchise.
Maybe
but,
because they moved to Vegas.
I guess
it feels like they're on the come up,
but they're not.
Not at all. They haven't been
stink.
for 25 years.
No, and they got some good. They're like a bad version of the Dallas Cowboys. They have a few
You know
individual
what?
good players, but at least the Cowboys, and then everything else stinks. At least the Cowboys win 10, 12 games.
I
Well,
think
not
it just
this year, but
I think it just matters how much drama you have. Like the Raiders don't have a lot of drama. They're
they
just not
quietly
good.
suck.
The Jets have drama.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have drama.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah,
and
we
that's what makes us think they're worse.
Yeah.
But really,
no, the Raiders.
it's hard to outclass the Raiders in the suctitude department.
They just stink. And yeah, maybe Vegas changes it, but they hired a terrible coach. They don't have a quarterback. Again, you have Max Crosby and you have a really good tight end. And if I was either one of those guys, I'd want the hell out of there. That's why I thought maybe someone might be able to pry Max Crosby out of them at the trade deadline. Someone like Detroit. Because to me, when you're a bad franchise, and Crosby's young, so I guess this doesn't quite fall into that. But if I'm a bad organization, you know what I don't want? Good 28 and 29-year-old players.
Yeah, just trade them.
I have they do.
It's like the Russell Wilson trade.
Exactly. When you get into your late 20s and you're getting ready to approach 30, unless you're a quarterback, and even then, I think this applies, and you aren't good, just go, leave. By the time we're worth a damn, you are going to be over the hill. 33 is ancient at almost every position in the NFL. And I don't understand why teams aren't willing to do that. Dude, good franchises are the Raiders, the Steelers, the Patriots. They did that for years and moved on from people. And people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're getting rid of these guys. And we're like, yeah, you got to get younger. You got to get younger. You got to get cheaper in the NFL. It's the way you sustain things. And it certainly is the way you build up, unlike the Raiders.
Okay, today's poll question is something a little different. We've put it up there on X at 1080 The Fan, and it is very simple. Who you got? Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, or who gives your...
Unfortunately, the who gives an S should win. It won't.
No, it's winning.
This thing is going to do a giant number.
No, it's winning.
Good.
Barely.
This is a travesty. I feel this is so sad. This is not boxing. This is not combat sports. It's pathetic. I'm so tired of people trying to make Mike Tyson out to be something that he's not. go back and watch Mike Tyson fight when he was at the end of his career. It was one of the sadder and more pathetic things that you've ever seen. 4 years ago, he fought against Roy Jones and he looked weird and old and slow, and so did Roy Jones. And then the other one that I beg you to go watch is Evander Holyfield, who was always in 10 times better shape than Mike Tyson. Evander Holyfield is one of the best conditioned boxers of all time and was a better fighter than Mike Tyson. Do you remember when a Holyfield at 58 tried to fight? I gotta find. He fought some mixed martial artist, I think, that was trying to move over into boxing. Do you remember that?
No.
Vaguely.
Dude.
58?
Yeah, I think he was 58. And it was, so same age as Mike Tyson. He was 58.
Tyson's 58 right now?
Tyson's 58.
Yes, that was 4 years ago.
It was 4 years ago. Go watch Evander Holyfield fight. And it is elder abuse. Like, he almost falls out of the ring against someone who's not even a real boxer.
So you're saying take Jake
Was it
Paul?
Belfort? Is that who
Belfort,
it was?
yes.
Ernie?
Yeah. No,
Vitor.
Vitor. It is so bad.
Okay, so...
And by the way, in that fight, Holyfield did not land a punch.
The reason I bring this up is selfishly, I watched a little bit of they have the countdown thing on right now. You know, they do those countdown series on, I don't know if it's HBO or Netflix or whatever, but they did the countdown for the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight, which was not on my radar and won't be on my radar. But I find Tyson to be an interesting sports figure. And the first one wrote me in because it's all about Mike Tyson and his career. It really doesn't talk anything about this fight quite yet. It's more about his career. But it wrote me in because it did this little thing where they go around and interview fans and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it is split right down the middle. If you are younger than 35, because Jake Paul's 27, let's say you're maybe even younger than 40, you think Jake Paul will annihilate Mike Tyson. If you are of the Mike Tyson era, like you and I, we're older, and we remember Mike Tyson as being great, then we all think Mike Tyson's going to kill Jake Paul, and Jake Paul stands no chance because he's not a real fighter, and Mike Tyson, even at 58, was. So that is they've tapped into something really interesting with this fight. Now, I'm not saying it's good, a good fight, but it is an interesting little, I don't know.
Circus?
It is definitely a circus, but it's just an interesting little
sad
would be the word. It's just experiment, I guess. I don't know.
Like moment in pop culture.
Yeah, because it's not like boxing is popular. Yeah. No one cares.
No.
Mike Tyson's probably still the most popular boxer, and he's 58 years old. Yeah. And Jake Paul is certainly the most popular of the youngs, and he's not even really a real boxer.
He's not. If Jake Paul fought any fighter in his age group and in his weight class, one of the top 40 or 50 fighters in the world, he would get annihilated in under a round. But he's fighting a 58-year-old man. Look, I suppose there's a chance within the first 2 rounds before he gasses out, if Tyson hits him, Tyson can knock him out. My guess is, and this is sad and pathetic, my guess is that Jake Paul's smart enough to stay away from him for a round or two. And remember, they're only doing 2-minute rounds because Tyson can't do full rounds. And my guess is that eventually he hits Tyson and Tyson goes, he's 58.
Where's your money?
I'm not touching this because it's sad and pathetic, but if I had to bet, I think I'd bet on Jake Paul.
Really?
If you think about this.
By the way, here are the odds. Minus 200.
Yeah.
So Jake Paul is the favorite. He is minus 200, which means you have to bet 200 to win 100.
Yeah.
And then Mike Tyson is plus 160. So if you bet 100, you win 160.
Well, I'll ask you this. So Mike Tyson is not the greatest fighter of all time. He's not the greatest fighter of his generation. Far from it. Again, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, much, much better fighters. Again, I encourage anyone to go watch Mike Tyson.
He was just the scariest human being.
Go watch Mike Tyson against Kevin McBride or was it Danny Williams, his last 2 professional fights. By the way, he just quits against Kevin McBride and lays down and is like, I can't do this anymore. Yet here we are 20 years later, he's going to attempt this again. So we know Jake Paul's not a real fighter, but he's a big, strong kid that's all juiced up that can clearly crack you. If he hits you, you're going to sleep. So let's say that is the equivalent. If Mike Tyson was an NFL player, can we say Jake Paul's maybe the equivalent of a I don't know, like Portland State, right? He's playing in the Big Sky Conference.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. I don't know, but
So
okay.
let's just I think that's probably a fairly, from the level that of a Big Sky to the NFL. If I took Jerry Rice, the greatest of all time, and I put Jerry Rice in a Big Sky Conference game, what would happen to Jerry Rice? He would die.
Yeah, some young safety would break him in half. Or would try to.
Some 22-year-old heat-seeking missile would murder him. And I'm guessing, if I had to, in this sad sort of experiment, Father Time is undefeated. 58. Just again, go watch Evander Holyfield, and this is why it's sad. Because then that dip-ass is going to stand up, and I mean Jake Paul, and dance around the grave of Mike Tyson and be like, look at what I did. And yet refuses to fight anyone that has any semblance of age, experience at all. None.
Somebody asked him about that at the presser, like, when are you going to fight a real fighter? And he took offense to that. He did not like that.
Well, he does have a lot of, look, I know nothing about this. I just saw that countdown thing, and I only watched the one episode, but he has a lot of respect for Mike Tyson. Like, he's not a S-talker. I think he probably is an S-talker generally.
Fight.
But, I mean, he knows Mike Tyson was a badass, and he's got a lot of respect for him. But and this is not something I'll watch, but it's just, I don't know, they've kind of tapped into an interesting juxtaposition.
Although, isn't it tomorrow at 5 while we're on the air? So, like, maybe you'll just watch it here.
It's at 5?
I think.
Well, it starts at 5, but there's a bunch of undercuts.
Yeah, that'll be late.
Well.
The fight will probably go off at like
What do you got to
8:30
do?
or
Pay-per-view to see that thing?
I think you just have to have Netflix.
It's free.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I will queue it up.
Free on Netflix. I just
right.
don't want to see what's going to happen.
Coming up next, how do we feel about Dave Sims?
Yeah.
Do you know Dave Sims?
I do know. Well, not personally, but
you do know that?
I know of him.
Here is Buckley.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on the Fan, Week 11 in the NFL kicks off at 5:15 tonight with the Commanders visiting the Eagles. Newly acquired defensive back Marshawn Lattimore is out for Washington. The Eagles are 4-point home favorites. Meanwhile, former Duck and current Broncos QB Bo Nix wins NFL Week 10 Rookie of the Week honors for his play in last week's loss to Kansas City. Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker headed to the IR with a knee injury. He'll be replaced by Spencer Schrader, who had previously been on the Jets practice squad. In the college ranks, Ducks quarterback and Heisman hopeful Dylan Gabriel has been named a finalist for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. The other finalists are Colorado's Shadur Sanders, Jackson Dart of Ole Miss, Indiana's Curtis Rourke, and Miami's Cam Ward. Oregon Ducks head coach Dan Lanning will join us right here on Primetime at 4 o'clock. And in baseball, we'll talk about it coming up next. Reports indicate that Mariners play-by-play man Dave Sims will be leaving Seattle to head to the Bronx, where he will replace John Sterling as the voice of the Yankees. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Jump back to earlier parts of your favorite fan shows on the Odyssey app. The only way to rewind Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
This is Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Child custody is the most emotional issue our clients face. If you're a divorcing father, the relationship with your children is about to change. But that change doesn't have to be for the worse. Kids already feel the stress of parents who don't get along, and they can thrive after a divorce. Kids trust their dads. Their dads trust Goldberg Jones. Call 1-800-DIVORCE and get your phone questions answered at no charge.
Serving the greater Portland, Vancouver area.
Hey, it's Isaac Ropp for Window Nation. Experts say that heating costs are increasing up to 23% this winter. And if your windows aren't from Window Nation, your money is literally going out the window. They have some of the best insulated windows so your heat stays inside. And right now, get these amazing windows at 50% off. Plus, you can save even more money with 0% interest for 5 full years. Hurry, sale ends November 30th. Schedule your fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. When sending a package, why venture outside? Ship with USPS for a true holiday ride. Want to stay cozy and warm? There's no need to roam. With free package pickup and labels printed from home. We have over 600,000 employees always in
You know, in our business, there's not much better to hear on the radio, in my opinion, than the crack of the bat.
No, it's a great sound. In fact, a few months ago, I don't know, there wasn't maybe a bunch going on, and they were doing, I think it was like Freddie Coleman on ESPN. Someone was doing the top 10 sports sounds, and like they were just doing like a bracket.
Was that on there?
Yeah, that was number one. Was the crack of the bat.
Yeah, I mean, in person, it's one thing.
Yeah.
Radio, little different.
Yeah.
But it's one of the finest sounds we could ever produce for you.
It's amazing.
Besides your golden tones, of
Clearly,
course.
yeah.
So the reason he played that clip, Dave Sims is leaving.
Yeah, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Or he's just going to New York.
He's the Mariners play-by-play guy, radio.
He was.
Well, it's not official yet. I didn't see anything official.
Yeah,
Have you?
Seems like it's a done
It
deal.
seems like it's a done deal.
He's going to New York to replace John Sterling.
The Yankees hire Dave Sims.
Whoa! Sterling is...
he's like 1,000 years old.
Is he that old?
He's old.
That's a lot.
He's older than you think.
He
is 86. He will be 87 years old next year.
Well, you know how old Dave Sims is?
Oh, Sims is like what, maybe 60, 65?
71.
Oh, Dave Sims.
He looks pretty darn good.
Yeah, Dave Sims looks good.
Yeah, so I was reading up on Dave Sims today, and I don't know how Mariner fans feel about this, him leaving, but Aaron Goldsmith will probably take over.
Oh.
The few Mariner fans I've talked to are very excited about Goldsmith.
Yeah,
They like him. He's young.
They like Goldie.
Young guy.
Well, a guy they can kind of grow with. And Sims kind of, I felt bad for Dave Sims because he kind of got stuck in the guy following the guy, right? Like it's a little weird. Like it's just, Sims, I don't think Sims was ever really fully embraced as a Mariner. He just wasn't.
I agree with that. I feel like he was always, he's a bit like Calabro in that he's just, he's a national guy doing a local team, and it's always been kind of weird.
Yeah, because for whatever, obviously Niehaus is the legend, and Rick Riz just is, again, feels like a Mariner. And then Sims was always just kind of, he's a pro. I mean, look, when the Yankees hire you, you're good at what you do. But I just don't know many people that really embraced him. And you're right. I think Calabro's the same way. He does a fine job. Is there any Blazer, if he left tomorrow to go take a job, well, he's a Seattle guy, right? So let's say the Sonics are going to come back. If Calabro took the Sonics job, would there be any Blazer fan that would care other than screw him, he's going to Seattle?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't think
he does a good job.
I know he does, but that's my point.
I think
So
they
does
like
Dave
him.
Sims. I'll bet you if you made a poll question and asked Blazer fan, would you be bothered that not that Calabro left? Would you be upset if the Blazers replaced Kevin Calabro, whether it was his doing or the team's? There is not going to be a big groundswell of how dare you. Like when they got rid of Mike and Mike.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's different than no one.
Yeah,
I mean, you originally said no one.
Yeah, I
think
it's going to be a small number.
I think it would be over 50% wouldn't care. But anyway, Dave is leaving, known for his great calls like bye-bye.
Someone's saying that Rick Riz's hairpiece should take over the radio call. It is a nice
I am
debate.
told I have some inside information. This is confirmed information.
It's confirmed analysis.
No, this is information.
I love it.
And it is that Rick Riz's hair turned down the Yankees job.
It said no thanks.
They would not take care of the hairpiece enough. Cost of living, East Coast.
Did Rick get a say, or did they just ask?
No,
the
just
piece?
the hair.
Just the hair.
Yeah. Two separate agents, from what I'm told.
The hair costs more.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Boomstick, baby.
Yeah.
Do you know who he would say that to about when he hit a home run?
That was
Nelson Cruz.
Nelly Cruz. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Who got a giant hot dog named after him in Texas after that. The Boomstick.
The Boomstick?
It's like a 2-foot hot dog.
Yeah. Look, I'll just say for the record.
Hey,
I have no problem with Dave Sims. Dave Sims was a pro, and I contend that no one will really care that he will be gone. And
He's done a lot.
And it does feel that that fans are fine with this.
He's done a lot in his career. He has a dubious distinction of being the only play-by-play broadcaster in the history of broadcasting play-by-play sports to call two perfect games in the same season. Did you know that?
I did not.
You didn't know that, did you?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
How about that?
Bye-bye!
Who are the two perfect games?
Philip Humber and Felix Hernandez.
Okay.
Oh, because Humber did
Yep.
it for what, White Sox?
White Sox against the
Against
Mariners.
the Mariners, yeah.
And then Felix did it the same year. That was 2012. 2012.
By the way, I looked up old Goldsmith, who's going to take over. He's 41. So I thought maybe he was a little younger than he looks like a bit of a baby face. But 41 and be 42 next year. And he'll be a guy that can hold that job for a long time. That I'll bet you within 5 years, he's more embraced than Dave Sims ever was. And maybe within the first year or two.
Well, Dave, we hardly knew ye.
And he gets to call playoff games. So
Who?
Dave Sims.
Yeah, finally. That's probably why he went. He's like, my God, I need those extra paychecks.
Yeah, do you get bonuses for
Somebody in
that?
the text line said, yeah, even Dave Sims gets tired of the Mariners offense. He had to go.
Wouldn't that be awesome if his press conference was like, well, I
just couldn't call that anymore.
I'm tired of calling games with 3 hits.
Double plays when you got men in scoring position.
You imagine, though, having to sit through and call 162 of those with that offense. I get that probably wears on you mentally at some point. That, and I'm guessing New York pays a little bit better, and, well, it's the Yankees. You know.
Yeah.
That's always tough. You know, I know.
Well, he's following a legend, though.
Yeah,
Again.
That's, well, and he's done it. He's done it before, so, you know, why not? But, I mean, that's it. Like, Wheels, rest his soul. Wheels was an LA guy. He wanted the Laker job.
Yep.
You know, he tried a couple times and he didn't get it.
And even if you don't want to follow a legend, it's not like Sims at 71 has the luxury of like waiting for there to be a gap between whatever next job he wants. So you just got to take it.
Yeah, when the Yankees job comes open, when's the last time that job came
yeah.
open? If you want to be in New York and that job comes open, you can't be like, well, I don't know.
How long
I'd
was
like to see
Sterling
someone
there?
else try it out first.
I got a guy on the other line about the White Sox. I'm going to talk to him for a little bit, and then maybe I'll circle back with you. I mean, Sterling was there forever.
Are you still holding out for that sports radio gig in Pocatello?
I'm waiting for Bob Uecker. I've been waiting on that Milwaukee Brewer gig for the last 40-something years. There's a guy that I feel bad for. Like when the Mets eliminated the Brewers, it made me very sad just because Bob Uecker. Because he wants to see a World Series. And remember his sign-off call, he was like, I don't, you know, he basically was saying, I don't know if that's going to happen. Because I don't know how many more of these I have. I think Uecker might be like 90.
Rest in peace, Bob Uecker.
Nope, still there.
And Dave Sims.
Sterling called over 5,000 consecutive regular season games for the Yankees.
Okay, but how many years was he?
I will go back and look. But he announced 8 World Series, over 5,000 straight games, and he has been with your New York Yankees
30 years?
since 1989. 89 to 2024.
45 years.
30,
Carry
right?
the one.
I'm going to go 36 years.
No,
Is
it's
that
30. It's 30. Yeah, 35, 36.
Yeah. Is that right? Anybody?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just waiting for Soup
35.
to. Yeah, there you go.
35 years.
We got there. That's not that long.
I'm a man.
Wake me up when he's been there as long as Vin Scully.
The Yankees win.
All right, the Dan Lanning pregame show is next on the Fan.
The Turtles 1080 The Fan.
All right, Oregon coach Dan Lanning coming up next. This will be what I believe is his final appearance of the season.
Maybe we can guilt him into coming on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll try. See if we can catch him before maybe, hopefully, a Big Ten title game. But
I'm guessing no, but we'll see.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the thing about the schedule, and I am going to ask about this today, the schedule, recruiting schedule really ramps up now for coaches. And that's really counterproductive because, he's right in the throes of trying to win a championship.
Well, that's what Lane Kiffin is saying. Is like, God,
Yeah.
you have free agency in the middle of the season.
It's hard.
It's insanity.
It's hard. His schedule is about to ramp up. I mean, I think what do we think? Thanksgiving to, the end of when you stop playing is probably the busiest time of a coach's year.
Yeah.
So it just kind of is what it is. But I do want to ask him, what he thinks of ideas to kind of alleviate that.
Yeah, it's. I think everyone wishes there was some clarity on this, but to your point, the early signing period is. I had to look it up. It's December 4th through the 6th, and that's leading into the Big Ten championship game, right?
December
4th through the December 6th. So it's like,
yeah.
And you're still having to recruit your own guys. And we've seen it. I mean, every day now I feel like I see a new player that says that he's out of here and that he's entering the transfer portal. And that's what Lane Kiffin's talking about. And yeah, as part of the settlement and that you're paying players and, we have unlimited transfers now and all these things. Eventually you have to come up with some new guidelines, and you have to come up with a new calendar because you're operating on an old calendar system with a new financial and play and pay structure, and you got to evolve, and they need to come up with that. The problem is in the NCAA, there's no one that's leading this. I mean, Charlie Baker's the president, and that guy can't do squat. He even admitted it. Remember when they put out a statement saying, "Hey, no more investigations because we can't do anything about it. So we're not investigating. We're not trying to enforce any NIL stuff." So until you have some sort of governing body that actually has some sway and some teeth, I don't know how it gets fixed. And I'm guessing Lanning will say something to that effect of something needs to happen, but God, I don't know what.
All right, well, we'll talk to Dan Lanning coming up next here on The Fan.
The Fan, an Odyssey sports station. Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on The Fan, Week 11 in the NFL kicks off tonight with the Commanders visiting the Eagles. Newly acquired defensive back Marshawn Lattimore out for Washington. Kickoffs at 5:15 on Amazon Prime. The Eagles favored by 4. Meanwhile, former Duck and current Broncos QB Bo Nix won Week 10 Rookie of the Week honors for his play last week against the Chiefs. And in the college ranks, Ducks quarterback and Heisman hopeful Dylan Gabriel has been named a finalist for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. He'll compete for the award against Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Curtis Rourke, and Cam Ward. Dan Lanning, coach of the Ducks, waiting for us on line one. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell the smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Tired of getting dinged by subscriptions? We won't send you a bill. Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
Hear this, right now.
Welcome. Primetime with Isaac and Suk.
What is going on up here? I never know, man.
Unbiased.
Shut your mouth.
Uncompromised sports talk without the
I
sugarcoating.
hope you're happy. You wasted everyone's life for 30 seconds.
Isaac Rupp and Jason Sukanik.
Now shut up and let me do my job.
The best in sports coverage.
This is gonna be great.
This is Primetime with Isaac and Suk on 1080 The Fan.
All right, welcome back. Right on time, as always. The prompt head coach of the Oregon Ducks, Dan Lanning, as the Ducks get set to take on Wisconsin Saturday. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, my God. Never better. What's worse, your weekly press gatherings or phoners with chuckleheads like us?
Oh, man, this isn't bad. This is all good.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Well, we're kind of worried that you might hate this kind of stuff.
Well, no, it's not bad.
Well, okay, let me ask you a more broad question. How do you view media within the landscape of what you do?
Well, I think it gives an opportunity to create a little bit of a vision for our program for recruits, right, which is something you always want to be able to take advantage of. And, just shed the best light on your program as well. So I think it can be a tool if you know how to use it the right way.
Was that one of the biggest adjustments going from being a coordinator to a head coach is all that other non-football stuff that you had to deal with?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say that's a piece that's different.
I know that I find it just crazy that you're in the throes of a season. You're trying to win the Big Ten. You're trying to get to the college football playoff, and now all of a sudden they're throwing all these recruiting. The recruiting ramps up to a signing day. What changes would you like to see with regards to dates on recruiting and the portal, et cetera, to make it easier on coaches?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to picture how you can do it the right way and still, make everyone happy. I've always felt like the football season should end January 1st regardless. Like, I feel like the national championship game should be January 1st, and it would be awesome if recruiting started. It never is going to just start. You do it all the time, but it would be great if the signing windows were after that. Well, it used to be, right? It used to be in February. That's when the signing day was. Well, now it's become newer and newer in college football, and certainly we're a team that's trying to take advantage of it, where you sign high school players in mid-year, right, in December. And that allows you, to get guys here then. Well, that moved the signing day up. So I don't know if there's a great answer of when that could occur. I mean, some people are making a push for that to happen in the summer, and I think that's too early.
Yeah.
For guys to be able to see how the seasons play out, when coaching changes happen, all those things that happen within seasons. I think, signing in the summer doesn't really give you the opportunity to see that. For us as coaches, you want to watch how players develop their senior year. So there isn't a great answer to make it right, but it is what it is. So you just got to deal with it.
Yeah, but if you push it back, I think what you're saying is if you just push it back a month, that saves you a lot of.
Yeah, but then it would certainly make your job easier, but then that would eliminate the guys that you want to sign mid-year that could come join your program. A lot of guys now in high school are graduating, after the first semester of their senior year, right? So, that that doesn't really, you'd still want to sign those guys mid-year. So, like I said, I don't know if there is a great answer just based on the way the windows have been created already.
Yeah, it's just
unless the season moved up earlier.
Yeah, it's weird now too. You see, like, and I don't think you've necessarily dealt with this one. Maybe you have. Not that I know off the top of my head, but it's like, you see where a coach can make an in-season move now, and the kid's like, well, okay, well, I'm entering the transfer portal. I think it was Lane Kiffin that said we essentially have free agency, and I know he can't play that same year, but he brought up the fact that we kind of have free agency in the middle of the season, and that is just such a bizarre thing to think about in the context of any sport.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Definitely different. I mean, to have free agency more than one time a year, multiple times a year, is really kind of what happens. And you hope that your culture, overcomes that, and you have players that, understand the process and what that's going to look like. But every person's, different. Every individual's different. So you always have to do a great job of painting a vision for what it looks like if they continue to stay here and build in this program. But then on the same note, take advantage of the opportunities that exist out there when guys do enter the portal and other programs.
Yeah. Is that something that you do when you sit down with exit interviews, or you do it in the season with like check-ins? Is that something that you have to do individually, is sit down with a kid? I remember exit interviews, and it was always like, hey, this is what we're doing next year. But do you have to think now, like you said, kind of longer term when you talk to kids in your own program?
I think you hope that conversations like that are happening all the time with the players in your program, and they have a good feel for where they're at and where they can improve. I don't think that can be something that just happens once at the end of the season or once in May. It's about having, great relationships throughout the season and throughout the year of what that looks like. And it takes a level of trust too, that they feel like they're growing in your program and those things are happening for them. But it's hard the way the windows are set up and how demanding the season is to find time to say, okay, let's do exit interviews with everybody this week. It's just hard to make that occur whenever you have so many other things going on in the season. So you hope there's a good enough relationship that if a kid feels a certain way, he'll walk into your office and talk to you as a coach.
Yeah, you guys have had back-to-back transfer quarterbacks, and I was thinking about this today with all the recruiting stuff, and now you have the portal that you can mine. Do you think the days of developing quarterbacks in college football are dwindling?
No, not necessarily. And, I'd even argue that if you look at the way that the quarterbacks that we've taken have performed, is they've really developed in our program. Maybe when they got here, it was a little bit different lens and a different time when they got here in their career, but that doesn't mean that Bo Nix wouldn't tell you that he developed a lot as a quarterback when he came here to Oregon. So I think development is still a premium. And if you look at players and see how they're playing in week one compared to how they're playing later in the season, I think that speaks to development on your roster. So does it look different? Yeah, it might look a little bit different. Were those guys here as freshmen? No, but neither was I when they were freshmen. So I think that could look different moving forward for us as well.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know if, especially a program like Oregon that's really humming. I wonder how advantageous it would ever be when you have the portal and you have quarterbacks in the portal. How advantageous it would ever be to bring in a freshman and you recruit them, but I just mean, starting a freshman seems to put you behind the eight ball more so than a transfer with experience, even though that transfer can obviously grow.
Yeah, you have to be a really special player to be able to play early. And then obviously everybody takes their lumps early in their career too. So, every situation is different, right? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Does it make sense in that scenario to be able to play a guy as a freshman, or give them an opportunity to sit and learn as well? And I think every player is different. I don't know that there's not a cookie cutter answer in that situation.
Yeah, I remember for me, like the light went off in between my second and third year, so my red shirt, going into my red shirt sophomore year, like everything slowed down and it was like, oh, like this is how you do it. But it does feel like nowadays kids are coming in more prepared than ever, but it's like you said, that probably is is it even position by position? Are certain positions more apt to have success early?
Yeah, I definitely think there's some truth to there's some positions that are easier to play than others early on. But again, I've seen exceptions to the rule all the time.
Yeah. And as part of the recruiting process, are you going to promise backup O-linemen thick 6 touchdowns now? Because you're out doing bits. We're now throwing touchdowns to backup O-linemen. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know that we have to promise it, but we can just point to the proofs in the pudding, right? When you come here and you play, you might get an opportunity like that.
Can I ask, where does that come from? Like, I'm sitting there watching that. I'm not sure which I was like, oh my God, this is happening. the fake punt to a 300-pound defensive lineman deep in your own territory, or a record-breaking touchdown to a backup offensive lineman?
Yeah, we always try to be creative and find things that we think will be hard for the opponent. Some of those things we practice a long time, and almost all of them we describe, this is the perfect scenario that we would like this to happen in. And it's just unique that both those scenarios popped up in that game, and it worked out.
Well, Dylan got the record, and it was to him, so who gets the ball?
Yeah.
His only
That's
tutty.
Definitely Dylan's ball.
Definitely Dylan. Okay.
For now, right? Only tutty for now. I mean, now people are going to have to game plan Janoris when he's out there on the field, right?
So was there some sort of competition? Because we got the touchdown, you got the 2-point conversion, and the fake punt. I mean, is there some sort of big man hierarchy? Can we power rank the pride that comes along with each one of those big men carrying the ball?
I think every one of those guys was pretty jacked for their opportunity, so it worked out perfectly on Saturday.
Yeah, Birch, I mean, as far as impressive goes, I knew he was an athletic guy. I didn't know he could scoot like that. That's a
you
big
think that
man.
might be on his Mel Kiper? You think that might be on his Mel Kiper draft tape?
Absolutely. Like when you're talking about top
me
end
too.
speed and the number one, like it's always weird to me when big guys wear single digits. He made it look good. He's out there looking like a tight end.
Yeah, he looks good in it.
Yeah.
This is
No doubt.
Dan Lanning with us here. Now, Maryland, would you uneven performance? Is that an accurate description?
Yeah, I think there's definitely left out there that we can do better. There's growth moments that you want to have in every game, and we walked away with some things we can grow in that area.
How much, as a head coach, can you feel a performance like that coming?
I wouldn't say that we had like a bad week of prep or practice. There were some things that certainly could have been better, but I will say that like some of the penalties that showed up in the game, those are some of the same things that showed up in practice. So I'd say sometimes you can feel some of that. I don't know that you predict exactly what it'll look like.
Did I hear you say Wednesday that your defensive backs have been wearing boxing gloves this week?
They have, yeah.
And what is that for?
You can't grab people when you're wearing those.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Is that something you've done before, or is that a new wrinkle?
Yeah. No, that's definitely something we've done before.
Do they like it? Is that
No, they don't like it.
Yeah.
They definitely don't like it. But I don't like penalties either, so it's kind of how it works.
That's right.
I just was thinking if you put those on O linemen and D linemen, I just think we just end up punching each other. Maybe DBs are a little bit more refined.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they certainly don't enjoy it, but when you're getting a little too grabby, sometimes you have to try to paint a picture.
So what team that you've played this year does Wisconsin most resemble? Is there one, and what are their strengths?
Well, they have some similarities from schematically to what Maryland does offensively, with the RPO game and some of those things that they carry. Defensively, I don't know that we've played anybody that does just exactly what they do, but they're big up front on the offensive line. They've got some dynamic slot receivers and good backs. Defensively, I think they're really sound and definitely got some guys that can make plays up front, and their secondary are really good tacklers. So they have some talent. I don't think their record really reflects who they are. They've been hot and cold at times this year, but they certainly have some talent on their team.
We played a clip of Fran Brown. Did you coach with him at Georgia?
I didn't. I know Fran, but I've never coached with Fran.
Oh, okay. But you know him.
I shower regardless of the result after the game, but he makes a good point.
Yeah.
He makes a valid point.
He does. Okay. See, I knew you would say that. You're all about that. You guys are, I swear to God, college football coaches are all insane. Fran Brown said, for those who don't know, he said, I don't shower if I lose. So I didn't deserve the soap. Yeah. So I wanted to know, in order of intensity, can you power rank Fran, maybe Tosh, Dillingham, and Kirby?
Well, it'd be hard. I haven't coached with Fran. Tosh is definitely a different level of intensity. He carries that every day. I'd say Kirby as well. But I'd probably say Tosh, Kirby, and then Dillingham with those. Offensive guys aren't generally going to carry the same level of intensity as defensive guys. And I'd say, Tosh and Kirby are both on the spectrum when it comes to crazy, when it comes to intensity.
That's a good point.
There is something about that. Yeah, it's like,
the defensive
yeah,
guys.
it's the defensive guys.
Yeah.
Defensive linemen are always a little more off kilter than their offensive brethren.
That's right.
Is there a Kirby Smart stamp on your program? Something specific that he does that you brought?
There's a lot of things that we do here that I did there with Coach Smart. So I think it'd be hard to pick things that. I mean, there's a ton. His blueprint's all over what we do because he's a guy that I learned directly from, and whether it's doing practice schedules or just even the ability to adapt what you do based on what you need to get better at. I mean, those are all things that I took from Coach Smart.
And is he very similar to Saban since he coached under Saban? I mean, is it kind of all the same, or are they
For sure.
two different?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say that there's a ton of similarities, but I think what makes both of those guys good is that their willingness to adapt and change. You know, whether it was Coach Saban changing offensive philosophies, you know, in the midst of his career, or you know, the way that we defend certain plays in Kirby's, you know, career. So I think one of the staples of both those guys is their willingness to adapt and change based on situations and what your team needs are.
Yeah. One other question I had for you. I was thinking about your time at Georgia and your first 3 seasons there. Now, you did have the COVID season, but the 2 seasons before, you guys are really good, didn't quite get over the hump. In 2021, you did. What might you have learned from that journey about what it takes to seal the deal all the way through?
I think it takes a lot of things. I mean, obviously you have to have a talented team and be adaptable as coaches to how people are attacking you and what they're doing. You know, ability to create is really important, but it also takes some good fortune. It takes, you know, being at the right place, the right time, guys being advantageous when the ball bounces up in the air and taking advantage of those moments. So I think it takes good luck. It takes a really talented team, and then you want to try to control all the controllables you can. A team that, you know, preps the right way, that practices the right way. We had a lot of those traits on that team in 2021.
You feel like you have those traits on this team? Because it sure seems like it.
I think we have the capability to be a team like that, but it's certainly too early to say it'll all play out like that. Like I said, it takes some good fortune too. It takes the ball bouncing the right way. I mean, You think about that team in 2021, we got our butts whooped in the SEC championship game, right? And then we're still able to go on and become a national championship team. So there's a lot of football left to play here, and certainly the most important piece of that is us going to take care of business at Wisconsin.
Yep. True. All right. Thanks, Coach. We'll probably not talk to you next week. It's a bye week, so good luck at Wisconsin, and we'll talk to you down the road. Thank you.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good one.
All right. We will.
Jump around.
We will, damn it.
You planting your flag on that. We are going to have a good one.
You know what? We are.
Yes. It's no Wednesday, but, you know.
No.
We'll do what we can.
Thursday's a different vibe.
I mean, then we get into Friday and, you know, it's a whole other ball game.
Fran Brown, I don't deserve soap.
Yeah. You got
He brings up a great point. It's one that I had never thought of, is that we talk about these coaches like they're all insane because they are. It's really the defensive guys that are the worst.
I will say that of all the coaches that I've been around, the defensive guy, I mean, Gruden was freaking nuts.
Defensive guy?
No, Gruden's an offensive guy.
Oh, is he an offensive
Yeah, he's
guy?
an offensive guy.
He seems like a defensive
Spider 2Y banana.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
it was a different
quarterback school, you know.
It was a different level of insanity in that it was controlled. The guy that's losing his ass almost always is the defense. Like,
defense.
I think they're both insane. It's two different types of insane, though. Like, you get the offensive guy tends to be like more like mad scientist
Yeah,
type,
like
and then
Dillingham.
the defensive guy is just a wild man.
Yeah, and then
That's right. Offensive guys are smarter.
Yeah, and defensive guys are just.
I should have asked him that.
They're just angry, and they're just.
Well, they react. The other ones are the ones who plan and
Correct.
plot, and then the defense reacts.
And remember, it wasn't me that said this. This was Deion Sanders. Remember when he was talking about what he looks for in a quarterback and what he looks for in a defensive lineman?
No.
Oh, yeah.
He said from a quarterback, he wants a loving family, you know, 2-parent home, all that.
Seriously.
Yeah, and he did. And he said with the defense,
D-line, he wants
the broken
drama
home. Yeah,
and
just
like single moms,
trauma.
the whole thing.
It's true.
Oh my god.
Look, there's a reason why like Tom Brady is Tom Brady and like Charles Haley is Charles Haley. Like Lawrence Taylor, in my opinion, is the greatest defensive player of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, changed the game. Joe Gibbs invented a defense to deal with Lawrence Taylor. I'm not sure if you're aware of what Lawrence Taylor has going on in his personal life, but nothing is good.
Isn't he in jail?
I think he's out of jail now. I think he's been in jail. But you can't be Lawrence Taylor
Yeah.
and play quarterback. You can be Lawrence Taylor and be the greatest defensive player.
And just say, hey, go get the quarterback.
Yes.
That's Mike Tyson. They were talking about him and his upbringing in Brooklyn.
It's bad.
It was really bad. Yes. And, you see why he is the way he is.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know if you know this about MMA and boxers, but a lot of the great ones, and by a lot, I mean all of them, none of them came from upper, like wealthy to do.
They all started fighting because they had to when they were kids.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Tyson said. He said they took him he went to the spot of his first fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, that's when I knew I had to fight.
Yeah.
Some guy took his birds. He's a bird guy. He's a big
pigeon guy.
Some guy stole him and told him to F off and called him the N-word.
Yeah.
And he said, all right,
we're going to do this.
I'm going to kick your ass.
Uh-huh.
And he knew that's
Yep.
from that point on, he knew he had to fight.
And it started at like 12 and 13.
Yeah, he was
and by the time he was 15, he was already known around the country as
Yep.
like the most terrifying young boxer.
It's weird to look at old tape of him. He was like, when he was kicking some ass, he was like 20.
Yeah.
He was so
he was
young.
really young.
He didn't look that young, but he was.
And then he burned out because obviously, like, once Custom Auto died, it's a whole
and you have rape.
Yeah.
You have 3 years in prison.
And massive coke issues. And
Yeah, somebody asked me, they were like, why does Tyson get a pass on all of his rape
talk
stuff?
about it all the time.
Well, yes, but he did serve time.
Yes, he did.
There's a big distinction there.
But he's become this lovable figure, and he is not.
No, he's a horrible guy.
He's a horrible person. But I don't know, for whatever reason, people relate to him, and
he's like Martha Stewart.
Did you hear the interview that's been going viral, the one that he did with the child reporter for this fight?
No.
Okay, so we have that if you want it. It's about a minute.
I do.
But basically, there's a child reporter there, and they're asking Mike about his legacy. And it's as if he doesn't realize that this is just a kid interviewing him, and this is what that sounds like.
Well, in your return to the ring for this fight, you are setting a monumental opportunity for kids my age to see the legend Mike Tyson in the ring for the first time. So after such a successful career, what type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Someone said that word and everyone grabbed on the word, so now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about legacy after that? What a big ego. So I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing.
I agree with him.
Our legacy is nothing.
You think it's a kid, Mike.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before, someone say that as an answer.
Can you really imagine somebody say, I want my legacy to be this way when you're dead? Why do you want somebody to, you think somebody really wants to think about you? What's the audacity? I think, I want people to think about me when I'm gone. Who the cares about me when I'm gone?
Oh my God.
My kids, maybe, or grandkids.
Yeah, true.
Cares?
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
I've said it before. I just do not understand why people gravitate towards Mike Tyson.
He is a very interesting figure.
I just don't get it.
He really is. All right. I would say wait. Dan Lenning's appearance is here on The Fan, brought to you by Unitas Community Credit Union. Like a coach's playbook, Unitas has a winning strategy for your finances. Unitas. I don't know. Dan Lanning postgame, or should we move on? Next, I don't know.
Where do you go after Mike Tyson cursing at a small child? Where do you go? Hey,
I want more of that.
He was in The Hangover, and he's a lovable guy, minus the assault and rape and whatever.
All right, so we'll go somewhere. I don't know where we're going. Tune in to find out next on The Fan.
You know what? I'm going to cook on your grill.
Yeah. The home of
Where do you go from there?
Where do you go from there?
Dan Lanning to Mike Tyson to God knows what.
We're getting some good feedback on the Vancouver Ford text line here.
Mhm.
And it's interesting. A couple of these about Lanning. Another riveting conversation with Mr. Lanning.
And someone else, a couple other people
I thought
said
he was
they-
good today.
Yeah, he opened up.
Oh, boy, does Lanning not want to be here. This interview makes me miss Mike Riley.
Well, but I think Lanning's point is he doesn't want to do any of this. It's not us.
Well, he was
just-
good.
yeah.
I thought he was good today because our strategy today was just get him talking about bigger picture things. You know, we don't need to get into.
That's what you're not going to get anything talking about Wisconsin other than the standard thing that he says on the coaches
So he
show.
was good. Somebody said best Lanning interview to date. You got him to open up at least a little bit.
There you go.
Bravo, gents. Great interview. Coach Lanning was much more open and talkative today. It's like he was practicing for his future interviews with the Cowboys.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. A lot of people are worried about that. A lot of people are asking me about that.
I know.
I get that all the time now.
Yeah, I
What
don't
do
know
you
if-
think? What do you think about that? Like,
I don't know what to tell you other than was it Jeremy Fowler or whatever said that he's drawing interest in the NFL.
Well, if he
But-
wins a
but I-
championship,
well, of course. I mean, but Lincoln Riley's been drawing interest from the NFL for years, and he hasn't gone. And Chip Kelly did draw interest, and he went.
There are
So-
people whose entire jobs it is to come up with people to be interested in for their franchises. And
Yes.
of course he's drawing interest. He's been great where he is.
I will say now, coaches' salaries in college are getting so high that, I don't know if the allure of the NFL, if anything's going to drive coaches out of college, it's just the grind.
it's recruiting, I
It's
think,
recruiting,
right? Don't you
and-
think?
And the NIL stuff.
I think
and
it's
all
the
that.
juggling of recruiting, transfers, NIL, and then also
Yeah.
your X's and
I
O's.
think the what you heard from him there, and that I picked out is that they're just you have to recruit your players literally
all the time.
all the time.
Around the clock, it sounds like.
Yeah,
You should
and-
be having conversations like that all the time.
And
he
there's
said.
free agency periods at multiple points during the year, and I think that probably is very frustrating. But for Oregon, at least in the 3 years he's been here, the transfer portal has been. I mean, it's been the biggest boon that they've had. I mean, look, without the transfer portal, Oregon is not. They're not the number one team in the country. I don't know if they're a top 10 team in the country. They're almost like how many impactful players on their defense are homegrown? I mean, everything from your defensive line alone is. I mean, your most impactful players are transfers. Your almost entire secondary transfers. Your offense. Almost every meaningful receiver that you have that's marquee transfer. Your several offensive linemen transfers. Your quarterback transfer. So I mean, this is. Can we also say too that Oregon has been phenomenal in the transfer portal at identifying these kids. A lot of guys take these swinges at big name guys, and it doesn't work out.
Sometimes it's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, and Oregon does seem like they identify guys that are going to work, or at least they mold them to work in a way that
Bucky was a home run. Bo Nix was a home run. Dylan, home run. Evan Stewart took a little bit. Home run. Tez, home run. Birch, home run. Harmon might be the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. Muhammad has been a phenomenal fit coming over from Washington, of all places. Sappington, maybe not so much. But they have just done a phenomenal job of identifying the transfer portal. But I can imagine that is maybe the biggest, just F this world that a college coach is going to have. And at least with Oregon, unlike most programs, you have the resources to be competitive in pretty much every aspect of this. Can you imagine this world? And now you are in. Let's take Utah, for example. Utah's a committed program, and Utah has been a top 25 program, won back-to-back titles in the Pac-12. Imagine what it's like to be Kyle Whittingham and have to navigate that. And then you can go down the list, and you go down to schools even below that. Think about like Trent Bray right now and what that guy's dealing with, or Dickert up at Washington State, who's having a phenomenal year, and you probably can't even enjoy it because you can't go to the college football playoff this year. And there's a fear that at 11-1, and even if you have that, you don't go to the playoff. Oh, and by the way, how many people are going to come swooping in at the end of this? It's just it's really, really hard. And luckily for Oregon, you're above a lot of that stuff.
A couple of other texts. Mike Tyson was like Confucius in that interview. What genius thought it was a good idea to put a child anywhere near Mike Tyson?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand that he's
decent point.
become this weird, lovable cult figure now with people, but dude, that guy should not be allowed anywhere near a kid.
That should be court ordered.
It should be.
Somebody said that is, well, a couple people like the, that is something I've never heard before as a drop. Do you think we could pull that out of there?
I think we can make that happen. Yeah.
The kid's reaction?
That is something
Well,
I've
that's-
never
Look, I thought the
been
kid
told of.
handled it amazingly well.
Well, he was shocked.
Yeah.
The kid was shocked.
I think it was even she. I think it might have been a she.
Oh,
It was a
really?
she. Yeah, but either way, the kid was very well put together.
They're like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, my God, I got
What an answer.
Mike up there, is talking about eating people's children and praising Allah and biting Lennox Lewis in the leg.
I forgot about eating children.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to eat his children. And
I believe the quote was, "I'm going to rip his heart out and eat his children."
And then
They're eating the cats.
and then praise Allah.
Yeah.
Like kids.
Good
Mike,
dude.
Mike,
They're eating
Mike.
the dogs.
Iron Mike. All right, let's get to In the News. I've got a lot here today. Your noted newsman has been hard at work. The FBI wants to give you $25,000, but there's a catch.
Oh, I want 25 grand. Who do I got to rat out?
You got to rat out the ballot box guy.
Oh, I wanted to rat out Buckley.
What did
Well,
I do?
Blame it on him.
Oh, you seem like a criminal to me.
Okay.
That's next. Here's Buck.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this SportsCenter update. First on the Fan, Week 11 in the NFL kicks off tonight with the Commanders visiting the Eagles. Newly acquired defensive back Marshawn Lattimore out for Washington. Kickoffs at 5:15 on Amazon Prime. The Eagles 4-point favorites. Former Duck and current Broncos QB Bo Nix winning NFL Week 10 Rookie of the Week honors for his play against the Chiefs last week. Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker headed to the IR with a knee injury. He'll be replaced by Spencer Schrader, who had previously been on the Jets practice squad. In the college ranks, Ducks quarterback and Heisman hopeful Dylan Gabriel has been named a finalist for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. He'll compete for the award with Shadur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Curtis Rourke, and Cam Ward. And in baseball, reports indicate that Mariners play-by-play man Dave Sims will leave Seattle and head to the Bronx, where he'll replace John Sterling as the voice of the Yankees. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
The Fan Merch Locker has a new long sleeve tee and hoodies in your favorite college colors. Get yours now at 1080thefan.com.
Gee, I wonder if Mike Tyson or Jake Paul, whoever gets their ass kicked tomorrow night, can call the advocates.
They might need an advocate.
Personal injury attorney. Yeah, it's like, I have no idea what to think of that fight, although I do want to see Tyson just absolutely rock that kid's world.
I think that's what most people want.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. And then Jake Paul would have to call the advocates. That is Ken and Donnie, or as we call them, Donikin. They are personal injury attorneys, and nobody ever really thinks about personal injury attorneys until you need one. And that's why we're telling you about them ahead of time. Or if you have been injured in an accident or otherwise, and you have medical bills piling up, these are the people you need to call. They can help defer your medical bills until after your case is resolved. And they don't get paid until you win. Consultations are always free, so there's no risk in calling. And even if they take your case, you're not going to pay them until they get you money. So the advocates, if they can't increase the total amount in your pocket, they will tell you that. It's about doing what's best for you. Although I'm guessing they would take Jake Paul on as a client. If you've been injured, you need more than a lawyer. You deserve an advocate. Go check them out. They are online at advocateslaw.com.
Order for Jennifer C. Is this my double shot, double cream?
Time to move on to something of more importance. November 14, 2024. It's time now for In the News. I'm your noted newsman. Hello. Thank you. Coming with intensity today.
You are bringing the intensity.
Got a lot of news stories over here.
Fran
It is
style.
National Pickle Day. Do you like pickles?
Not really.
Very controversial item in our household, the pickle. I
mind.
love pickles.
Do you?
I do. And my wife makes homemade pickles, which are delicious. But we have a problem with dill in our household.
Don't like the dill.
They don't like too much dill.
Well, like if I'm getting a burger and there's a couple pickles on there, I necessarily won't pick them off, but I'm not going to ask for them on. And sometimes a relish is okay, but for the most part, I find pickles to be a
I like
nuisance.
pickles more on a sandwich than I do a burger.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
No, same sort of thing. Just something like you like the little crunch to it, do you?
Yeah, but not on a burger. I'd rather keep the burger to the meat,
Yeah.
you know, and the cheese.
I think I'd go the other way. I will not tolerate a pickle on a sandwich. I'll pick that out.
Oh.
A burger, I'll just kind of, as long as it's not overwhelming, like if there's just one or two small slices. I'll deal with it.
What do you do? What do you do with the pickle? You know, sometimes they put the little half-sliced pickle on the side.
I huck it.
You do. See,
I love that. I love the little spear on
Me
the side.
too.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that will eat everyone's pickles.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Then you can have.
Hey, you
mine.
gonna eat that?
Yeah, it's out of there. I got no time for it. And what I don't like is when they put it on the side. A lot of times it contaminates my fries.
The juice.
Yeah, I don't get.
You got to be careful with the pickle juice.
Yeah.
I think that is a huge detriment to the pickle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how it works, but you got to be careful.
Oftentimes they put it in a little bag.
That's a good way to
better.
go.
I just don't like it sometimes when you put it amongst my other food, and now everything I have has a faint taste of pickle.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what a side accoutrement should be. It's you're allowing it to blend over, and that I can't abide.
It is also Loosen Up, Lighten Up Day.
No, I think everyone
Oh my God.
could probably use that.
Well, isn't that our whole motto here?
Yeah, just lighten up, man.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal. It's like, we'll be all right.
All of you, lighten up.
Deep breath.
In the history of people being told to lighten up, no one ever has.
No. That's what you should do. When next time your wife's mad, tell her to lighten up. See
Oh,
how that
lighten
goes.
up.
Lighten up, calm down, or relax. No one ever has.
Calm down.
It's never happened in the history of calming down. It's never occurred because someone said calm down.
Yeah.
In fact, the other day when my neighbors came out and freaked out about the dog poo trash can thing, my first thing I said was, whoa, calm down. And I can tell you, they did not calm down.
No, it usually goes up.
It's usually
Come on.
I even tried to do the hands up, like the, hey, whoa,
whoa.
That the universal, like, calm down?
Yeah, it is a sign of like
I'm not. I think it
you're
means,
not like submitting, but you're.
I think you're saying that I don't mean, like, my
Yeah.
hands are open. I don't have anything. I don't have a weapon. I'm
That
not
should be
punching.
a good sign. That should be a welcoming sign to a to a perp.
The problem is that a lot of times when you do that, someone takes your, like, whoa, calm down as a sign to be more aggressive because they think you're being passive, and that's Bush League. Don't do that.
In the News is brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com.
Yeah, it's soon Mike Tyson.
So the FBI wants to give you $25,000.
I would like them to give me $25,000.
That is the reward for information that leads to a conviction in the. Now, see, that's a key thing there. Conviction? He has to be convicted?
Yeah, because I'll throw anyone under the bus. I'll start making random McCarthy-like accusations against Buckley and, I don't know, Swag and anyone else here at the station. But I don't think that's going to give me the 25 G's.
Yeah, they're looking for the ballot box fire guy.
Yeah.
In the old Volvo. Yeah. They can't find that guy.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
It is weird, but
think by now they
what
someone would have figured it out.
What they said was he didn't have a front license plate and his back license plate was fake. So that's a big problem. So now it's just the car, and he probably ditched the car.
Well, he's smart enough to get a fake plate. I used to do that in college with parking tickets.
What a genius.
It works until they catch on to you, and then they put a boot on your car. But it does work.
So the FBI field offices in Seattle and Portland announcing that they will offer a $25,000 reward for information that leads to the identification, arrest, and conviction of the ballot box fire guy in Vancouver and Portland.
And I'm assuming he's facing serious charges.
You'd think.
Yeah, you can't screw with elections. Dude, my man there, I hope the juice was worth the squeeze on that one. Because you know that guy's got to be sweating bullets.
And they said no detail is too small, no tip is too minor. I beg to differ.
Yeah, you just think, I don't know. I would have thought by now that this case would have been closed. But I guess the fake license plate and no plate on the front.
So we've been through this before, but should Lake Oswego be open to the public? They're still fighting this. This goes back and forth.
Yeah.
An Oregon judge has ruled that it should be open to the public. This decision was issued
There's a lot of rich white people in Lake Oswego that aren't happy about this.
Not at all.
No.
They don't want this.
No.
They don't want you coming down there with your little pontoon boat.
Out there with my blow-up stand-up paddleboard. Let's do this.
I thought you were going to say blow-up doll in your boat.
I mean, I suppose
that'd be funny.
That would be
You know, now that it's open to the public, somebody goes down there and just totally trolls all them rich
Just the
people.
most white trash thing you can think of. And by the way, I do think floating on, getting 4 or 5 blow-up dolls, lashing them together, that would probably be the best thing to take out on the lake. Tie it up to someone's dock. What's up?
Judge Kathy Steele, in a long-running lawsuit, found the city of Lake Oswego's ordinance blocking public access to the lake to be unlawful. She ordered the city to allow access effective immediately through Millennium Plaza Park. However, only one of the 3 access points were restricted. The court ruled that the city had the right to restrict access through the other 2 access points. That's weird, but whatever. And they will likely appeal. And this will continue on and on.
So can I or can I
yes,
not?
You can right now.
Right now.
Beginning right now.
In the dead of winter.
You have to go to only the one access point, but if you go there, you can throw your little boat.
My little boatsies.
Out on Lake Oswego.
For heaven's sakes. I don't need to go to Lake Oswego that bad.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, if they don't want you there, why would I want to go there? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I think it's the idea of more F those guys.
Yeah, but see, that's not me. Whatever. You want your private little lake, you can have it.
I think that's the idea, is that rich people are saying that the lake is ours and the lake is not yours.
You do it anymore, you're going to have problems.
The lake is not. Their whole thing is, it's a public lake, but we're not going to let you get to the lake.
Fine.
I mean, honestly, that's one of the douchier things.
Well, it is, but I don't care.
No, I don't.
Fine. Keep your stupid lake. I'll go to the other lake.
Yeah, that's a classic and petty rich person flex.
Yes.
It sure is.
Yeah, it is.
What else do we have? Oh, we have a revolt in St. Helens. Now, this is getting hairy. Do you know what's going on in St. Helens?
This is the teacher scandal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this.
I tell you what, man.
I did not see this. What's going on?
It closed.
This is pretty rough.
We got protests.
So at St. Helens High School, they have recently arrested not one but 2 teachers.
Yes.
One is I think a former teacher, and one was currently employed there, and they were both sexually abusing students.
Yeah.
And it's gotten so bad. I saw some video on the news of the.
There's a whole protest.
What is it, like
they're
the
all
city
lined up.
council or something, where they have like the old weirdos sitting up at the front and they make all the rules and crap? Dude, that community was all over them. It was like one of those packed houses where everyone's fired up.
Out with pitchforks kind of a deal. Yeah.
They were like, you need to resign. This is bullshit. You're not protecting us. Yeah. Because they knew of some of this stuff.
Yeah, because the one I read, it said historical sexual abuse.
Yes.
And so yeah, one was on leave and the other one's a former teacher. So
it only became news to the public when the police announced that 2 of their teachers had been arrested. And so then everybody at St. Helens was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And so they're now going to the school board going, well, what the hell are you doing to protect us from these blokes?
Because they found out in September, and the one was allowed, so he was under investigation by police. They found out in September, beginning of September, and he was allowed to keep teaching until recently when they arrested him. And obviously people are pissed about that.
Yeah, that's what a leave of absence is for.
Yes.
I get the whole, well, he hasn't been convicted of anything, but you need to separate from the children at that
it's
point.
hard when and it's one thing to have a random accusation, but when the police are like, no, we're looking into this dude, you would think that, and you would think even for him,
yeah,
it might just be best if we just sit a couple plays out, maybe take a quarter off and see what happens. But
yeah, it's crazy. So they canceled school today and tomorrow because all the kids are out there protesting.
Yeah, their kids refuse to go to class.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw they're all lined up out there at school, and yeah, that's an ugly mess.
They have called for the school principal and the district superintendent to be fired.
Well, it's amazing too sometimes how kids know. We had one of these happen at my daughter's high school a couple years ago when she was there, and she said, dude, a lot of people knew. And we were like, really?
They knew about it?
Yeah, well, there was, I guess, kids talk. I think it's hard to keep anything a secret. So, and theirs, I think, was a female teacher, which I think is viewed a little bit differently because these are both male teachers. But yeah, it's a thing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, up next is A buying a golf course.
All right.
On the Fan.
This is the Fan's Window into Sports, a view into today's top stories. Brought to you by Window Nation, online at windownation.com.
Step back jumper, short. Shaden Sharp, go, brother! Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. It looked like he was going to throw himself in the rim.
Was that English?
It was a big dunk.
Shaden Sharp, brother.
Minnesota had a little something going, and then dude Sharp just threw down a monstrous putback.
You know what they're saying now?
What are they saying?
The Blazers are the T-Wolves' daddies.
Hey, they beat him 2 in a row. And yes, a couple days ago, the Blazers were the worst team in the NBA, and now you can't stop
Break
these
them
guys.
up.
Yeah, break them up.
Leading the NBA tournament.
The Fan's Window into Sports brought to you by Window Nation. 50% off all window styles this month. 0% interest for 60 months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
The definitive podcast for Oregon Ducks football.
All right, this is in the news. November 14. Wow, we are almost at Thanksgiving. 2 weeks.
Careening towards holiday season.
We sure are. You guys excited about that?
Just so you know, I've already started drinking for the holidays. I'm already in the
You're already in holiday drink mode?
Got your boozy blanket on?
Yeah. So good.
I think I'm going to crank it up this weekend.
Well, you should. It's good times.
Why not?
I've been listening to Christmas music like the last 3 days on my way home. Then I get home, maybe I pour myself some nog, maybe put something else in there.
Ooh, do you like eggnog?
Spiked eggnog.
You do?
Yeah. I don't drink regular eggnog. And can I also say that like it's more of like a half and half mixture?
What do you put with it?
It's just another way to put whiskey.
You go
in something.
vodka?
No,
Oh,
I
whiskey?
go whiskey.
Yeah, you need a brown booze in there.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I like eggnog.
I do not. It's good for one glass every holiday season with some booze in it. That's about it.
Really? You do that?
I mean, like I'll have it at a party or something, but like we're not going to go out and buy eggnog. We won't do that.
And I haven't done this in a bit, but I had a buddy of mine that would he would warm the eggnog just a bit, and then he would put peppermint schnapps in it with some
Ooh.
vodka. Delightful. Yeah. So you do like maybe a shot and a half of the vodka, and then a shot of the peppermint schnapps, and then warm up the nog a little bit. And careful.
Yeah. Dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Before you know it, you're like, whoa, hey, where'd this come from?
Hey, you know the A Casino up there?
I'm familiar. Wonderful place.
Yeah, it is. It's a great place. We do shows there from time to time.
I'm a big fan of the Michael Jordan Steakhouse up there.
Yes. We're going there next weekend.
Are you really?
Can't wait.
I'm on a pork chop kick lately, and they have a
Great pork chop.
delightful pork chop.
I love a good pork chop.
And the garlic bread. Oh.
You know, I do love a good pork chop, but I got to tell you, when I'm at a steakhouse, I almost will never order it because I just get so sucked into their.
It's hard to deviate from
delectable
steakhouse's
meat.
bread and butter. So
I felt the same way, but I'm telling you, like the last year, I've almost gone exclusively steakhouse pork chop. Go to Ox sometime and get their chop and tell me.
There I would get a pork chop.
Oh, it's so good. But I'm telling you, MJ's does a delightful chop. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Did you hear the Isachi news at MJ's?
No. What's the Isachi news?
Well, our man Jeff up there, he makes designer steak knives, and he will put your name on it.
Yeah.
Well, he made one for me, and it's spelled ISSAC. And I told him that, and I didn't care, but I was like, that's misspelled. And he's like, oh my God, I feel so terrible. He said, well, what if I put an E on the end of it? And now we have Isachi.
Was he trying to make it Isachi,
No.
or did he think the E would fix it?
No, he misspelled my name.
A second time.
And so, so I think we're going to get an Isachi steak knife
Love it.
on display up there.
I love this for you.
No, I hate to tell you this. The Big Souk steak knife's been there for quite some time. So
You're always a one-upper.
I'm just saying.
Why are you such a one-upper?
Just saying.
He got me my knife the same time he got your knife, but he didn't put it up because he misspelled my name.
My name's spelled correctly. What can I tell you?
Maybe you need an Isachi signature cocktail.
I am excited about the Isachi brand steak knife. Now, is it? I feel like next time I go up, I want to ask for the Isachi knife. I feel it's a little more regal and fancy.
Not anymore.
Not after that.
Not after that. Well, the Cowlitz tribe owns A. It's on Cowlitz tribe land.
Yes, it is.
Well, you know that there's a golf course right across I-5 there, Tri-Mountain.
Tri-Mountain.
Well, Tri-Mountain is for sale.
Oh, I can't say I knew that.
And the only bidder for the golf course was the Cowlitz Economic Authority.
Oh.
They're going to buy a golf course.
Are they going to keep the golf course, or are they just buying the land?
Okay.
I feel like maybe that's,
Well, okay. So first of all, golf courses go well with casinos.
Sure.
Because people that you want to get into the casino, many of them like golf. But it doesn't sound as if they're, and they have not made their intentions known. I mean, you kind of it's a kind of a delicate dance there.
Sure.
When you're trying to acquire land.
I feel like that golf course is going away.
Well, what they said, what their initial bid was $3.6 million. Wait, no. Their initial bid was bloop, 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 bloop.
Anything? Bueller.
Higher.
Bueller.
Oh, $5 million.
Okay.
Yeah, so they initially bid $5 million, but that was rejected because what came with that offer was that they wanted to include a clause in there that could end the golf course requirement after 5 years.
Okay.
So after 5 years, if they paid $5 million for it, after 5 years they could do whatever they wanted with the land.
Yeah.
Well, they denied that.
Yeah.
So they dropped their bid down to $3.6 million, and it will stay a golf course. Now,
for how long?
Yeah, I mean, then you get into the politics and the laws and such.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say this right now. If you want to golf at Tri Mountain, I suggest you go golf at Tri Mountain. I don't think that's in the long term. I just don't think that's in the long term plans.
So they put that up for auction. It's owned by Clark County. They put that up for auction in September, and that was the only bid. Was from Cowlitz.
Can't say that I knew that was county owned.
Yeah,
I didn't know. You could always take a right and go an extra 10 minutes. You can go to Lewis River if that thing.
That's way up there. Though.
That's not that far from Tri Mountain.
How far?
From Tri Mountain to Lewis River Golf Course,
20 minutes.
I'm guessing you're under 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to say probably 13 minutes. Because I lived right in between the two. I'll look it up.
Yeah, there is a requirement.
Tri Mountain does have
There's nothing there.
You can hit it like 4 fairways over.
Except until you hit it onto I-5.
That's true.
And cause a major pileup.
That would be problematic.
Yeah, the requirement is, so it has a pro shop, commercial kitchen, offices, dining area, and driving range. $3.525 million was the bid. Additional requirement, the Tri Mountain remains a golf course in perpetuity. Only the county council has the power to change that requirement. So that's where you would get into the politics of, hey, let's get some people on that county commission and
get it out of there.
Get what we want. I mean, I don't know. Who knows what they want for it?
Yeah.
But $3.6 million they bid for Tri Mountain Golf Course.
11.8 miles and about 18 minutes. You could probably make it there. Yeah, it's under 20, but yeah, it's a little bit of a
so
poke.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Yeah, book 20.
Oh, it's already 5 o'clock.
You could swing by the Ace Hardware on your way there, buy a wheelbarrow or something. That area up there is growing, though. I don't even recognize it when I go up there. Lived there for 10 years. Looks completely different now.
That's your in the news for November 14, 2024. It is brought to you by the Advocates Injury Attorneys at advocateslaw.com. Up next, the hot 5 at 5. A lot of news. I mean,
not a bad little
not
news
a lot
day.
of major news.
But enough.
Some stuff out there.
Some stuff happening.
Sports. That'll be next on The Fan. Yeah, well, no, I don't know.
Well, the rain has arrived. Isaac Ropp for Langdon Farms. Let's play our
The Fan.
Brought to you by 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. Mixed plates like Grandma used to make. If your grandma were from the Big Island, Woodstock, Burnside, and Beaverton, or online at ate-oh-ate.com. First on The Fan, Week 11 in the NFL kicks off in about 15 minutes. with the Commanders visiting the Eagles in a division battle. Newly acquired defensive back Marshawn Lattimore out for Washington. The Eagles are 4-point home favorites. Meanwhile, former Duck and current Broncos QB Bo Nix winning NFL Rookie of the Week honors for his play against Kansas City. Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker headed to the IR with a knee injury. He'll be replaced by Spencer Schrader, who'd previously been on the Jets practice squad. In the college ranks, Ducks quarterback and Heisman hopeful Dylan Gabriel has been named a finalist for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. And in baseball, reports indicate that Mariners play-by-play man Dave Sims will leave Seattle and head to the Bronx, where he will replace John Sterling as the voice of the Yankees. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley from the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
It's The Fan on FM. Go to 99.5 FM HD2 and enjoy high def 1080 The Fan.
Good afternoon. At the tone, Pacific Daylight Time will be.
It's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
One step closer to my own personal hell.
This is Primetime on Sports Radio 1080 The Fan.
We expect the best. We're not afraid to break someone. Do you hear me?
Primetime is your source for the best in local, regional, and national sports.
Go ahead and clap. Mediocrity deserves applause.
Isaac Robb.
I'm miserable. I had to get up at 10 o'clock this morning.
Jason Sakanik.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Primetime on 1080 The Fan.
All right. Welcome back. Hope you're having a nice, juicy, buttery, sexy, salty little Thursday.
That is something that I have not heard before.
No, that's a new one for me.
It's your Sports Bros here. Isachi. And Big Sook.
Yeah, right here.
Right over there. Looking all Suki today.
Yeah, I'm very Northwesty here with my corduroy hat and
Come on, Rob!
Ryan Buckley is here.
Pendleton shirt.
But you knew that.
Well, hello there.
Coming up this hour, we have a segment titled Num Num Numbers.
We had the Thursday night game, which I'm actually excited about. We've had some good Thursday night games this year. And,
matchups.
But dare I say, Eagles, Commanders.
This is going to be ugly, I'm telling you right now.
I hope not.
In which way?
Well, Thursday night games tend to be.
Oh, you just think it's going to be okay.
Yeah, you got.
I thought you meant it's going to be one-sided.
Well, you have a rookie quarterback on short rest, and I don't know if you've seen, but teams that play the Steelers the next week, I mean, they bang you up.
Yeah.
And then a short week going to a place like Philly, where Philly's like on a roll.
Dude, Philly's playing really well right now.
Yeah, they are.
Philly is my biggest conundrum right now in the NFL. If you had to say that the one team that confuses and frightens me the most, it's Philadelphia.
Is it because you like their personnel but not their coaching?
I love everything
it's
about
they have a bad coach.
Their roster makeup, but I just have zero faith in Sirianni. But you look at his record since he's been there, dude, the guy wins, but I feel like they win despite him. But they're playing so good right now that I want to buy into what the Eagles have going on. And it's just, I'm too scared. I'm too scared to dive in, but it's such a talented roster. And they just seemingly, they draft so well and they're always adding pieces. And you look around, like when you talk about like impact rookies, we were talking about how many good offensive rookies there are. There's some really good defensive players too. And the Eagles have a couple of them. Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, the corner out of Toledo. Again, I don't know how much you watch Philly's defense. Dude, both of those guys are absolute studs. And then Nolan Smith has come around, and then they've got that Zach Bond guy, and I'm like, who the hell is that? Dude, he's one of the best linebackers in the NFL. They're just out there absolutely killing it right now. And yet, it's Sirianni, and ugh.
The 5 teams that they've beaten, so the Eagles have won 5 in a row since their bye. The 5 teams that they've beaten are Cleveland, the Giants, the Bengals, Jags, Cowboys.
Right? Exactly.
So
like you just
not great, Bob.
It's why I pause and I said at 7-2, I want to buy into what the Eagles have, but I can't bring myself to it.
So we'll have numbers coming up next. We may talk about the Chiefs robberies we've yet to discuss here on the program. You seen that?
The Chiefs robberies?
Yeah, you haven't seen that?
I saw that. Speaking of numbers, did you hear Jim Harbaugh having some fun with numbers this week?
No.
Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9.
He did that at his press conference. Yeah.
Are we talking about the Chiefs robbery that we talked about a long time ago? The guy that was
No,
we have new
two players.
New robberies.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we got injury news too. Our
oh my God, how are we gonna get all this in?
The chefs, he's
Butker.
Our favorite
your boy.
Women's rights advocate is down.
I saw he got a spot on Trump's cabinet.
America, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get to that this hour. And then Club 1080, good strategy or not? And you eat when you're hungry, you sleep when you're tired. When should you poop?
Oh, all right. I'm intrigued by this. Let's get into it.
6 to 7. Right now, the hot 5 at 5.
Hot topics, hot opinions.
Oh, Charlie, I'm hot today.
And hot air. It's time for the Hot 5 at 5.
That's hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 on Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
No, I mean it. That's very hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 with Isaac and Sue. Brought to you on The Fan by Victorico's Mexican Food. Discover Victorico's new savory menu items. Order in-store, online, or get it delivered straight to your door at victoricos.com. Number five.
Herbie going casual quarter zip in the
look at
in
that.
the booth tonight.
I wonder if he got that from Costco. What if that's a Kirkland special?
Wow.
I love pointing out the middle-aged quarter zip because the guy wearing it always gets super defensive about it.
Well, I think it's one of those things where it's oftentimes the first time that they have heard that that's an old man thing. They don't really understand that, but
really
because it's kind of a new thing.
Yeah.
That is.
It's fun
because it's Peyton Manning.
But if you're comfortable in your quarter zip, then just be comfortable in it. But you can just walk up and be like, "Hey man, it's a nice quarter zip," and they'll be like, "What's wrong with my quarter zip?" A little sensitive, which means deep down you're uncomfortable.
Buck, the Tulsa East Carolina game is on. Who we got in this one?
I do not have a bet on this game.
Come
Tulsa's
on.
quarterback just went down.
I have ski news. 6 years after retiring, and she's now 40 years old, but Lindsey Vonn will rejoin the U.S. ski team.
Oh.
How about that?
Hey, go Lindsey Vonn.
Yeah. Go Lindsey Vonn.
Tiger Woods' ex.
Can you do that at 40 years old?
Also, Roy McIlroy's ex, I
Number
think?
4.
Is that right?
Lindsey Vonn?
Am I thinking of... No, I think the tennis player.
Yeah, you're thinking of Wozniacki, who was Rory and J.J. Watts.
I don't know a whole lot about skiing, but I'm guessing at 40, that's probably not going to go well for her. But
well, she's had a bunch of injuries.
Again, you're 40 years old.
They said that she's been practicing, and there's no word on what events she'll be doing, but next winter games are in Italy in February of 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Yankees are losing play-by-play broadcaster John Sterling to retirement, and the word is that WFAN in New York is zeroing in on Mariners' Dave Sims.
Yeah, he said the deal's all but done.
He grew up in Philly. He's done it pretty much all in his long broadcasting career. He has the dubious distinction of being the only broadcaster in baseball history to call 2 perfect games in the same season. That happened in 2012 with Philip Humber and Felix Hernandez.
It was never really embraced by the Seattle people. In fact, Goldsmith's going to take over there, and most Mariner fans that you're hearing from actually, I think, would rather have him than Sims. And Sims is a pro, but he's not a Mariner guy.
Number 3.
Home of the Rays, Tropicana Field in Tampa, ravaged by Hurricane Milton, so they will move to Steinbrenner Field and play their entire 2025 season there.
That's what we were talking about. Remember when they said that they had to find a place? And it's right across from Raymond James. It used to be Legends Field, and I used to see preseason games there when I was living in Tampa. It's a really nice stadium. And they said that they'll do some renovations, and they also said the Yankees were wonderful to deal with. Said they immediately stepped up, they offered it up, and as soon as the Yankees, even during spring training, they're going to be making upgrades, but it's like the Yankees have to be out, and then like 4 days later, the Rays have to be able to move in. So they said it's a tight turnaround, but sounds like this is the best option. And then,
people helping people, look at that.
Yes, yeah, the Rays were very complimentary of the Yankees, and the Tropicana is going to get rebuilt for $55 million. And the city's going to help with it. It just won't be ready this year.
So this stadium holds 11,000.
Yeah. And they averaged, I think, 15, they said, at the Trop.
Perfect.
Yeah. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll bet you this ends up being a better home field environment than the Tropicana did. But the heat and the rain could cause some problems early on.
Chiefs are losing kicker Harrison Butker for at least 4 games. He hits the IR. He has a knee procedure he's going to undergo. Spencer Schrader is their new kicker. He was just signed off of the Jets practice squad. He played at Notre Dame last season, was pretty good. He made 15 of 22, kicked a Notre Dame record 54-yarder.
Wait, 15 of 22 ain't that good, is it?
Well, I mean, I think in college it is.
College, oh.
And he made 61 of 62 extra points.
And didn't he kick for the Jets last week?
I don't know. They just said he was on their practice squad.
I know that they made him move off of Zerline, but I don't know if it was him or not.
I think he may have kicked last week for the Jets, but
why does Zerline suck now?
Who knows?
Because he's old?
He was awesome. But so is
Tucker sucks too.
Yeah, Tucker sucks now.
Well, he's gotten a lot worse, but he's still there. He's not bouncing around the league.
Dude, Justin Tucker.
He's missing kicks. And
Justin Tucker will not be the Ravens kicker next year.
Well, but give me their ages. Can you look that up?
I'll look it up for you.
The research department. I bet you Tucker's way older than Zerline.
Okay. I bet they're about the same.
Big one tonight in the NFC East. Oh.
Number 1.
I'll wait for this to.
Tucker is 34, turning 35.
Zerline is 36.
Oh, wow, he's older. Okay. Stand corrected.
Zerline will be 37 this year in December.
Thursday Night Football is Eagles Commies in Philly. Winner gets the lead in the division. Since the bye in Week 5, Philadelphia 5-0 with the second best point differential in the league behind your Detroit Lions.
But as you pointed out, the schedule, I don't know how many quality teams are on there, but I really like the way Philadelphia is playing right now, despite their coach. I feel like if you gave a better coaching staff to the Eagles, I think that's a Super Bowl team. I have a hard time trusting it, but I'm excited about this game tonight because I really like watching the Commanders. Like if you had to say right now, Coach of the Year, it's Dan Quinn, and he's got the defense, which was bad early, playing real well, and they have just. Everyone that they've brought in, from rookies to free agents, have been fantastic, and they're doing it without necessarily a great cast, and Daniels has been phenomenal.
Would he be the first coach of the year to win while wearing his hat backwards?
I'm guessing yes.
I bet he would be.
Which is still a little weird, and I know Colin probably absolutely hates that, but hey, when you're 7-3 and rolling like the Commanders are, turn that son of a gun around.
Look, a young guy like Stafford or Romo used to do it, or
but they were playing. Have we ever seen a head coach do it?
Yeah, a head coach, it's a little different. It is very odd.
It's jarring.
Come on, Dan.
It's how he does it, man. Hey, he's not a dad. He's the cool dad.
Victor Rico's Mexican food. Discover Victor Rico's new savory menu items. Order in store, online, or delivered straight to your door at victorricos.com. We're going to do a segment called Num Num Numbers coming up next on The Fan.
Seahawks football is on The Fan.
Walker's going to run it again. JSN throws.
Did he? What? What?
So this was because he was talking about, the coaches talk about the middle eight.
Yeah.
He talked about the middle eight of the NFL season, that really you're looking at games 6, 7, 8, 9 is your middle eight, so to speak. And then he just did his Harbaugh tangent thing and went into 6 afraid of 7.
So 6, 7, 8, and 9 are more important, less important?
I don't know what he was just, he was doing the thing that you think he does, is just filibustering. He's just
Yeah.
kind of spinning his wheels about whatever.
Yeah. Welcome to the land of Jim Harbaugh.
I love that
nothing makes sense anymore.
Buck is into Jim Harbaugh clips. Like I think you listen to his press conference daily, don't you?
I do not, but he's in my algorithm now, and so now Jim Harbaugh clips find me.
I will say that I probably see more Harbaugh stuff come across my timeline than most coaches.
Not gonna lie, he's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. And that's what it is I end up clicking the videos and I send them to you, and then Twitter's like, hey, he likes Harbaugh stuff.
See, there's a way to be entertaining and still not say anything,
Yeah.
Sure.
I like that.
Yeah, and he definitely has some of that. I mean, and look, again, when you're talking about Coach of the Year candidates, I mean, Dan Quinn and what he's done is amazing. But you can make a case that Jim Harbaugh probably should be Coach of the Year because, well, is Dan Quinn, I mean, they brought in a rookie quarterback and a lot of their key pieces are new. Harbaugh actually shed talent.
Yeah, he lost Keenan Allen. He lost Austin Eckler.
I mean, they came in and they didn't really add a bunch, and it's essentially the same team minus some key guys. And
that team won 5 games all last season. And he's got 6 wins already.
Well, haven't they gone from like 29th to 4th defensively or
Yes.
something like that?
Yes.
I mean, that is a glaring indictment on Staley.
Now,
cocked, ready to rock.
To be fair, right? Raiders, Panthers, Broncos, Saints, Browns, Titans, they've played horrid offenses. But
who's beaten them?
They lost to the Steelers. Now they gave up 20. Lost to the Chiefs, only gave up 17. They lost to the Cardinals and only gave up 17. So, like, Jesse Minter will be a head coach next year.
Yeah, he everything he touches,
and Harbaugh said as much.
Yes.
Everything he touches turns to gold.
But it is really impressive that on a roster that really shouldn't be good, it's not Philadelphia. There's some really good coaching jobs. I think, again, what's happening in Washington, what's happening in Minnesota, what's happening in LA with the Chargers, it's really impressive. Versus, let's take a situation in Seattle. Seattle has a better roster than I think all 3 of those teams. And you can make the argument Jane Daniels and Justin Herbert obviously make a difference at quarterback, but Geno's a good quarterback. He's not those guys, but he's solid. But it's a better roster up there, and they're kind of floundering right now. So coaching matters, and say what you will about Harbaugh's insanity. They have done a phenomenal job, and they've changed the mentality there in LA, and it's impressive.
This is now a segment we're going to call for the archives numbers. And this is just a few things that I saw out there in my award-winning research and show prep that I thought I'd bring to the show because it's interesting.
Okay.
At least to me. The Chiefs, you know that they are an underdog this week? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Well, they're playing Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that?
I'm assuming it's in Buffalo.
It's in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's got to be, yeah.
Yeah, there's no way they're an underdog at home.
So the Chefs are 2.5-point dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you care to guess what the Chiefs' record is? Straight up. No point spreads or anything.
Okay.
What is their win-loss record as an underdog? And this is with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, those 2 guys.
I gotta believe they have not been an underdog very often.
23 times.
They've been an underdog 23 times, huh?
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna say that they have won, and so this is just straight up, right?
Straight up.
I'm gonna say 15.
17-6.
Yeah. So underdog at your own risk.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The other one I saw was that they've been only a field goal favorite or less, or an underdog. Like with Patrick Mahomes, the last 11 times they're like 9-0-2 against the spread. They just absolutely crush.
That's when to take them, not when they're laying a bunch of points.
Right.
Another stat that goes along with that: Kansas City has played 126 games since 2017. How many do you think of those games they have lost by 10 or more?
Boy. Give me that number one more time.
So they've played 126 games.
Yeah.
How many of those games that's since 2017? How many of those games have they lost by 10 or more?
And we don't know how many. You're not telling me how many games they've lost. They've just played that.
I mean, obviously they haven't lost that much.
No, I say they've lost 4.
Ooh.
5?
4.
4.
4. 126.
Yeah.
They've lost 4 by 10 or more, and one of those, Mahomes was hurt.
Well, you've got arguably already in his career a top 4 or 5 quarterback of all time. You got an all-time coach in Andy Reid. I go to my grave, though. The last 2 years, this is a Spags team. As good as Mahomes and as good as Andy Reid are, the last 2 titles have been more about Spags and that defense. And I think you could say the same thing about this year. Look at how many close games and one-possession games that they've won. And, yeah, I mean, it honestly feels like now the recipe in Kansas City is just, we're just going to drag you towards the end of the game and then let 15 do some Superman crap, and it works. But now with Butker being out,
blocking field goals
again, special teams and defense, like that's not a Mahomes thing. Now that Butker's out, think about how many times that guy has made a difference. And I know he'll be back eventually, but in a bunch of one-score close games, it's a big deal to have.
Big deal, because he's money.
Yeah,
he's probably the best kicker in the league, right?
It depends. I mean, there's some really good ones. I'll say this: he's as reliable.
I was gonna say if you had to pick one kicker for a big kick, that's my guy.
I can't argue.
I know the Dallas guy's good, but
I can't argue with it. And he's done it in big moments, right?
Well, yeah, he doesn't miss in big moments.
No, and so that makes a difference. But when you look at Aubrey, who's the guy you're talking about in
he's really good.
Yeah.
Fairbairn's pretty good in Houston.
Ooh.
Elliott in Philadelphia is Jake Elliott's really good.
Who's my guy in Atlanta?
Younghoe Koo.
Younghoe Koo, although
he's been struggling.
Yeah. Dude, it's like
Boswell's always been solid in Pittsburgh. I feel like he has not missed a beat.
He's still there.
He's still there.
Jesus.
Yeah. Fairbairn and with the Texans is good. That's what did Buck just say that?
Yeah, he sure did.
Oh, sorry about that.
And then paying attention.
And then Justin Tucker sucks.
Yeah, Tucker. And who's the guy?
Who's the guy with the place and the things?
Zerline also sucks.
Well, he doesn't play, does he?
No, I don't think so anymore.
Yeah, he's terrible.
I can't remember.
And they stuck with him for a long time too. Like they kept being like, he's.
Well, Zerline used to be amazing.
Zerline used to be great, but he is no longer. He did not age like fine wine. He aged like moldy bread. Isn't it weird though?
Right.
Like, I mean, he's like 30. He's almost 37. Like, I love how we and Tucker's going to be 35 here. I think this month.
He is way younger than I thought. How long has he been kicking?
Well, 35. I'm assuming he came into the league at 22, 23. So
it just seems like he's been there forever and he's ancient now.
We just have this like, I don't know what it is, but like when someone's play diminishes and then we look up and he's 34 and we can't believe it. Why is that? Like, you realize that at 34, like, you are no longer, like, did Tom Brady just morph and, like, screw up all of our perceptions of what it means to be old?
Tom Brady did with age what Adrian Peterson did with the ACL recovery.
Yeah.
And it's just like the one man changed the standard for everybody, it feels like.
Yeah, dude, people get old. Like, it happens. And by the time, I talk this all the time with, like, linebackers and receivers. How old is Roquan Smith?
65.
I would guess that he's 27-ish, 28.
I'll look this up. Yeah, he's only 27. So, like, I don't know if you've paid attention to him, but, like, he looks like a shell of himself. Like, last year, I thought he was as good as any defensive player in the league.
He was like a DPOY candidate last year.
Yeah, and you watch their defense this year, and it's, they're not very good. And one of the reasons is he went from being just this absolute force of nature to just kind of like, he looks like a very average to at times below average linebacker. And so that's why I was wondering if
he wasn't coming back from injury, was he?
No. So it's like guys go through these weird. Marlon Humphrey's another guy out there in Baltimore that looks kind of old and over the hill, but he's 28 going on 29. It's just that we just think that primes last longer in the NFL.
Well, people have already started to say like Sauce Gardner is starting to fall off in New York.
Well, he's not having the year, and again, that hopefully is just a blip because
he's still really young.
He's still really young, but he is not a shutdown corner.
He's already not producing the way he was when he first got to the league.
No.
Well, he's only been in the league 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Was it last year's rookie or was it 2 years ago?
I think this is his third year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mistaken.
Good grief.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, we came into this year, I think we were talking about this, like, who's the best corner in the NFL? And by the way, there's not many elite corners left
They're hard to find now.
In football. There's just not. And so Sauce was, this is his third year. And so Sauce was viewed as the number one guy. I'll tell you what, it's Surtain right now in Denver is hands down. And some people will say that he is the only shutdown corner in the entire NFL. There's some really nice guys that are playing in the slot now. Brian Branch is having a hell of a year in Detroit. I mean, there's some good guys around there, but true shutdown, we're playing man on that side, take away the best player. Sauce isn't there anymore.
Is that just because receivers are getting better and schemes are getting better?
It's possible that it's just getting harder and harder to do.
It's just hard. Yeah. I mean, you're going to get burnt some.
And I just think sometimes on defense, the ebbs and flows, they're like relief pitchers. Like,
have good years.
And then sometimes, I mean, I expect Sauce to bounce back and have another. He's just too talented and he's too young. He'll be fine. It's just that sometimes this happens. And then other times you get to 28, 29, and we have a down year and like, oh, he'll be back. And I'm like, you certain about that? And we've look at receivers. 32 is the magic age for receivers. When you turn 32 years of age, do not give them contracts. Like, they fall off a cliff. And running backs are that way. Derrick Henry seems to be the one exception, but eventually the time's going to come for him too. It's just a brutal sport, and your longevity minus quarterbacks. We have a bad perception of it.
Well, there's also, I think, a lot of things that guys are going through that we have no idea. Like, you don't have to be on the injury report to have kind of an ankle that's bothering you, and in that half a second, that fraction of a second makes you no longer a
baseball. This happens a lot where some guys hitting 230 all year, and we're like, "What's wrong?" Then we find out at the end of the year he had elbow, like
he's fighting through something.
He's fighting through tendonitis or bone chips or something.
More numbers coming up next. These pertain to against the spread. Okay, because you guys like to gamble.
Yes.
Is Oregon the best team in college football against the spread since 2022, since Dan Lanning?
I'm guessing you're going to say no.
I
would
think no. We'll see.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. If not, who might be? That's next. Here's Buck.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. Brought to you by Stanford's. This classic American steakhouse has exactly what you've been craving in Clackamas, Tannisbourne, or online at stanfords.com. First on the Fan, Week 11 in the NFL kicking off tonight with the Commanders visiting the Eagles. That one currently scoreless in the first quarter. The Eagles put a good drive together on their first possession, but they missed a field goal wide left. Meanwhile, former Duck and current Broncos QB Bo Nix won Week 10 Rookie of the Week honors for his play against the Chiefs last week. Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker headed to the IR with a knee injury. He'll be replaced by Spencer Schrader, who had previously been with the Jets. In the college ranks, Ducks quarterback and Heisman hopeful Dylan Gabriel has been named a finalist for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. And in baseball, reports indicate that Mariners play-by-play man Dave Sims will leave Seattle and head to the Bronx, where he'll replace John Sterling as the Yankees play-by-play announcer. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Got a smart speaker? It's The Fan in your office and every room of your home. Tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan. It's time for Who's Leading the Charge. A look under the hood at the coaches, players, and teams getting it done. Brought to you by Battery Exchange.
My team needed me to protect the rim. We knew that they were going to be attacking late game to, try to gain momentum. After those first two early fouls by me, I said to be smart, be vertical, and protect the rim.
That is Kling Kong.
The Black Lobster.
He played a lot and kicked some butt last night.
They gave away his commemorative cup.
Oh, was that last night?
Oh, yeah, it was Kling and Cup night.
That's
so,
why.
Yeah.
17 points, 12 boards, 8 blocks. Oh,
that's a lot.
1 assist.
Ooh, got that dime in there.
Who's Leading the Charge? Powered by Battery Exchange. Mention code BXT10 at checkout for 10% off your entire purchase this month online at batteryexchange.com.
For Moore & Allen, attorneys at law, I'm George McCoy, and when fall and football return, it always brings me joy. Let's not forget the roadway dangers that can arise when leaves fall down and rain
All right, back to numbers. These numbers pertain to point spreads. I saw where we have the college football playoff quarterfinal point spreads.
Okay.
If and this is just based on the matchups that we would have.
So this is the first
today.
round, the non-bye round, or the bye round, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this will be the 5 through 12 matchups.
5 through 12s.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's not technically not the quarterfinals, is it? That would be the first round, wouldn't it? Because the quarterfinals would be the 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
So I don't
be
know
the
why he called them the quarterfinals.
I don't know.
What an idiot.
That's why I was kind of like, wait, those games? Yeah.
This is from
And this is just the projected.
sportsbetting.ag. Yeah, they're just projecting the 4 matchups. Right now, Notre Dame, Tennessee.
Okay.
And, of course, that's the 8-9. The winner would play Oregon.
Tennessee favored by 2.5.
3.
Okay.
Tennessee favored by 3. We have Alabama at Indiana.
Alabama favored by
very interesting
6.5.
It is 6.5 in favor of Alabama.
Hey, I'm pretty close on
Yeah,
these.
that was a good handicap.
You know what? I've got confirmed information.
You also got the same email.
No, I didn't read that.
Yeah. We'll see.
Look at you.
We'll see.
Look
Now,
at you trying to claim that
we'll
my
see.
information isn't confirmed.
This is my confirmed analysis.
I've got it.
We'll see if he throws us off the scent by missing this one conveniently so that he can get the last one. Ole Miss at Penn State. Now, I was a little surprised by this.
Okay. Well, if you're surprised, because you're going to think Ole Miss is the favorite, there's no way Penn State's favored. But it would be at Penn State. That threw me for a loop. Because I would have said Ole Miss by...
Well, when you read the email, what did it say?
I didn't read the email. I would have said Ole Miss by 3.5. You were surprised, so I'm going to say Penn State by 1.5.
It's a pick 'em.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, load me up on the Rebs in that one.
I'll go ahead and just...
give me Ole Miss.
I'll take all the Ole Miss action you got.
How about this one? Boise State at Ohio State.
Ohio State favored by 9.5.
Ooh, I was going to say 11.
They won't give Boise State credit, even though Boise State took Oregon to the wire.
It's even higher, isn't it? It's 14.
19.5.
Whoa! give me the Broncos. Give me 19 points.
Yeah, 19 in a winter advance game.
Yeah, I'll take that. Let's dance. I mean, I know Oregon's a different team. They went toe-to-toe with the Ducks. Minus special teams, Boise was the better team in that game. So that is a lot of points to give up, especially for an offense that's been a little, herky-jerky.
Okay, and then the last thing I have here for you, if I can find it, is ATS record. That means against the spread.
Sure.
And I have the top 5. Actually, I have the top 9. But for the sake of this program and the numbers segment, it would be the top 5.
Okay.
These are the top 5 teams against the spread in college football since 2022. So since Dan Lanning took over.
Okay. Well, I mean...
Is Oregon number 1?
No. They are not number 1.
That is correct.
Okay.
They are not.
They're number...
Are they on the list?
Since he took
5?
over, they might be. They are not this year.
5, maybe? 6? Where are we at?
4.
Okay. I'm close.
Oregon 23, 13, and 1 against the spread since Dan Lanning got there. Okay. Top 3. Number 1's going to blow your mind.
Boise?
No. They're not on the list.
Well, I know Franklin has a reputation for trying to cover for his fans. Is it Penn State?
Penn State's number 3.
Okay.
22, 12, and 1. I feel like Penn State beats up on the teams they're supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Which is
number 2 is Tulane, which nobody would ever get, but 25 and 13. And the best ATS record
Bama
since 2022 is not Bama.
I don't think it's Georgia.
They are a big-time program.
Texas or Ohio State?
Wrong.
Boy, my confirmed information is just going nowhere. Right? I need to call John Anthony's stat.
Is it like Vandy or something?
John Anthony would know this.
Notre Dame.
Really?
Interesting.
Not even kidding. Does that blow your mind too?
That does blow my mind.
Because they lost to like Northern Illinois,
Dude,
and like didn't Akron beat them or something?
We could have been here until you
NIU
called John
beat 'em.
Anthony's number, and I don't think I would have gotten Notre Dame. I just don't. I know this is not fair of me because Notre Dame's a good program. I don't think about them. They're just kind of a.
They're always there though.
I know, but they're just an afterthought to me. I don't.
Because they're not grouped in with anybody else. They're just doing their own thing.
I kind of view them the same way I do Penn State. I understand that they're there. I just don't take them seriously. I understand you're going to win 10, 11 games and you're going to recruit well. I don't buy you. Make the playoff and see what happens. I just think you're going to get drilled. I just do not take them seriously the way I do the other big time programs. And I'm not 100% sure why. It just is.
Well, you wanted information.
I got it.
Yeah.
And that is confirmed information that you just
is
that
confirmed.
you just dropped.
That's num numbers.
Num num.
Thank you. Up next.
Are we at the 12 already?
No, not quite.
Almost.
We're almost there.
Almost. No.
You're like a little kid in the back seat.
Yeah, we there yet?
We there yet?
We there. Except now you shouldn't ask that because your brat kid's got a phone. Google that son of a gun. You know how long it takes to get there. You know where we're going. Put that in. Or it's right there on the nav.
We have some sports robberies we will discuss next on The Fan.
It's time for a Ducks Report, the inside story on Oregon athletics. Brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
You guys heard of a man named Dylan
No.
Gabriel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, he's been nominated as a finalist for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award.
Cool.
The other candidates, Jackson Dart, Curtis Rourke, Shadur Sanders, Cam Ward, goes to the top senior quarterback.
Oh.
Wow, that's a stiff...
That is stiff competition.
Stiff competition
Because
there.
they all are having phenomenal years. I don't know where that goes. I mean, if Gabriel goes undefeated, it's going to be tough.
Do you think he's going to win the Heisman?
I think Travis Hunter's going to win the Heisman. I really do.
Then he should win the Golden Arm Award.
There you go.
Boom.
I like where we're going with that.
Mods PDX, the future of building is here.
The home of Dirt and Spray.
I'm Dirt. Josh Pate is our guest, commissioner of college football. When you use a crock pot, do you put the meat in raw and let it cook, or do you cook the meat before it goes in a crock pot?
Oh, I have no idea. I just get enough friends who know how to cook, and I outsource that part of my life.
Really?
Although I will say, your meat has found out exactly what it feels like to be Florida State football this year, it sounds like.
Dirt and Spray. Weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on 1080 The Fan.
For many of us guys, it's happening. Your hair is thinning, the crown's disappearing, maybe hair loss has you feeling like your identity is lost altogether. Well, I've got good news. Hey, it's Souk. It's an incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. And get this, it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's the Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. We've all seen the pills and the lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They may help you retain what you have, but what if you want your own natural hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not a maybe your hair is going to regrow. It's guaranteed that your new hair is going to grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and they are the team that I personally recommend. For your free consultation and $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 503-832-HAIR. That's 503-832-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Stanford's in Clackamas and Tanasbourne has everything you need for your holiday meal. Prepared by their culinary team, the Thanksgiving family dinner is packaged for takeout to be picked up on Thanksgiving Eve and reheated in your kitchen. Available in 3 sizes, it's perfect for families of any size. For every Thanksgiving family dinner purchased, Stanford's will donate to a local food bank.
Yeah, we have some sports robberies to talk about here.
Yeah, I just saw this when you mentioned that a segment or two ago, and I looked it up. I can't say I had I heard of this.
Well, the Chiefs' two star players, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, both had their mansions robbed.
Yeah.
Within an hour of each other while they were playing.
Is it while they were playing? Because Mahomes' seemed a little.
Well, they were out of town.
Were they out? Okay.
I think it was. They said it was like right after midnight.
Yeah.
On October 6th.
Yeah, that was Mahomes's, but Mahomes got all weird and said they wouldn't elaborate if anyone was home at the time of the robbery, which is kind of strange.
Maybe there was someone staying there.
Yeah, I don't know. He just says I can't get into too many details because the investigation is still ongoing, but he wouldn't even say if he or his family was home at the time, which kind of leads me to believe that someone was home, because how hard is it to be like, yeah, no one was home?
Well, they were in New Orleans getting ready to play a Monday nighter against the Saints.
Okay.
So they were not, at least the players weren't around.
there.
And they said that a bunch of Super Bowl memorabilia and jewels got stolen at Mahomes' house. And then Kelsey's mansion, which is in another area.
20 G's.
$20,000 in stuff from his house.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think they were disappointed by that?
20 G's?
Yeah.
In cash?
Oh, was it cash?
Yeah. 20,000 in cash. So no, I think if you break into a house and you get 20 grand in cash, I think you're quite happy.
Because cash is king when you're a burglar.
So you sell crap. I mean, if you sell a bunch of this is the whole Ocean's 11 thing. Like, let's say you broke in and you got Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl rings. You can't sell
any
those.
trophy he's won. I mean,
you can't sell those.
Even customized jewelry. If those guys have special earrings, special necklaces, how are you going to sell that? It's custom.
Exactly. Like, unless you know some sort of like a black market Super Bowl, ring.
You got a smelter who's going to melt it all down for you,
right? Like, so I'm guessing the 20 grand in cash is probably the greatest thing that you could find.
Have you seen Mahomes' place?
No,
it's like a compound.
I saw a little bit at the quarterback thing, but I'm guessing that's not the house.
No, that's it.
That's it?
Because they were building that when they were filming it.
Okay.
This is where.
Okay. Because the one that he was at when they were actually there wasn't that impressive.
No, I think they might have been at their old house or a rental.
Yeah, they were somewhere else while this place was getting finished.
This place is unbelievable.
It's a full-on
unbelievable
compound.
And he's got looks like about 40-yard football field out there too.
Oh, geez, yeah, I see this thing.
And a golf hole.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
And a pool. And then Kelsey's house is a little bit more traditional mansion, $6 million mansion in Leawood, which is
he bought it to get away because of the whole.
Yeah, he had to move because the Swifties were like trying to show up all the time.
So you get out into Leawood, you can get out into some rural. It gets a little more rural. You get more property and some more privacy.
Yeah, that Mahomes house is pretty.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Did
again.
you see that retaining wall they built out there?
It's a great retaining wall. I like the lake and half a football field and
nice little pool.
You know what? Can I say that I'm a little unimpressed with the pool?
Yeah, too small for you.
I mean, you got a lake, you got a football field. I don't know. In this monstrous house, looks like a pretty cool guest house. I expect a little more out of the pool area.
It's just kind of a pool. There's not a lot to it.
Yeah. I'm giving it 2 thumbs meh on the pool.
Look at you.
Oh, you're Patrick Mahomes, for God's sakes.
What would you like?
No,
a slide?
I would like a slide, maybe a grotto. There's no infinity.
Maybe a little water feature.
Yeah. There's no infinity edge to that, right? I mean,
would you like a koi pond?
I wouldn't. Well, he's got a lake, so I'm willing to give him a pass on that. I just, you can't tell me that is an impressive pool.
That's not the best you can do for Patrick Mahomes' pool.
No, I think they got to the end of that, and I think they skimped, and I think that's a cheap move for someone that has like $180 million of guaranteed money. I don't like it.
Well, apparently they were shocked and surprised, and Britt's really not having this because she thought this was going to be secluded and safe.
Can I also say this to Britt?
You can.
Well, really, you think you're above getting robbed? Welcome, I
don't know about above. I think she just thought it was safe.
Assume that a big enough, secure enough place that this wouldn't happen there.
We've talked about this. Safety is the biggest misnomer. No one's safe. Nobody. If someone wants to break into your house, guess what? They're breaking into your house. It's like, oh, I have a camera. Cool, so you can see someone on camera breaking into your house? Oh, we have locked doors. Yeah, and a bunch of windows. And you know what defeats a window? A rock. I'm always fascinated at this idea that, I'm rich, therefore I'm safe. Nah. No.
How about this? You know what was in Travis's house?
What?
Designer bags from Taylor Swift. She had some stuff over there, because they're shacking up. So they could have gotten off with her designer bags and high-end clothing.
But again, if you know what those things were and then someone's trying to sell them as Taylor Swift stuff, then you find your culprit, right?
I just think it's
Swifties will get you.
I think it's just hard to move that sort of stuff for.
The Swifties could probably solve this crime online if they wanted to.
Look, if that whole remember that cat thing? Don't mess with cats.
The don't F with cats. Yeah,
dude. You know who you don't F with? The Swifties.
Yes.
Yeah. Who was I reading the other day? The Swifties took somebody down recently.
No, I just don't want anything.
Oh, it was some sports guy
said something. And...
Yeah, the sports talk, those douchey sports talk guys.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
They were like, nope.
They were in. I can't remember where they were. I don't think it was Kansas City guys, but some sports talk guy was like, Taylor Swift, yeah.
Yeah.
Blaming Travis Kelce's
Taylor Swift,
his decline on her.
On Taylor Swift, and not age.
And I think he said she should jump off a cliff or something. There was some line in there.
Wow, that's a little far.
The Swifties wouldn't.
Seems a bit much.
The Swifties were not having it, so they were blowing him up on the social meds.
I'm also, again, I know I sound like an old man when it comes to this, but anytime someone talks about like the online, like social media bullying, can't you just not go on there?
And then they gave him a bracelet.
No. And they said, let's come back and be friends. Like if all that was happening every time I logged on to Twitter was just like thousands of people talking about what a piece of crap I was, I think I'd just log off Twitter for a while. Let the heat die down.
I think you'd be surprised how many people cannot pry themselves away. Like, I know that you would and could. I think there's just a huge contingent of people that can't help themselves.
Yeah, dude, I do that all the time. Like,
she's going to be there on Sunday.
She's there like every Sunday.
Oh, yeah, she's there. I mean, there.
Is she there every week?
I don't know about every week, but it seems like she's there a lot.
She's there a lot. Yes. She's absolutely there a bunch.
Well, they like spending time together.
Yeah. Well, they are an item. That's like, say, Brittany Mahomes is there at every game. Like, I would assume Taylor Swift, when not busy being Taylor Swift, she probably goes and shows up at those games.
I saw recently Taylor brought her dad to the game. He was in the box.
You don't see much about him.
No.
You see the mom.
Then it was like Donna Kelsey and Mr. Swift, and everyone was all happy.
Donna Kelsey, a.k.a. Bruce
Valanche.
Then does Jason Kelsey show up out of nowhere without a shirt on?
Yeah.
Shotgunning a beer.
Well, it's the way you do it, man. It's the way you do it in the Kelsey family.
We're doing push-ups, maybe.
I bet you what. I bet you that Christmas party, that's a hell of a time. Kelsey's and the Swifts, maybe the Mahomes swing over. Trumpy probably makes an appearance there. The whole Mahomes family is big Trumpers. The mom, the wife, I'm assuming Patrick is. He just doesn't want to admit it. You probably got to, probably get an invite.
Mom and wife definitely are.
Yeah. Bosa comes rolling through there.
So she's playing in Toronto.
Oh, she's on tour right now?
She's still on tour, yeah.
Oh, I thought that thing's been going on for like 9 years. That hadn't ended yet?
Well, it goes on for eras.
How much money is that thing making?
A lot.
Like, if you're Travis Kelce, like, are you at all just like embarrassed at your like that dude's making money hand over face? He just sold his podcast for how much money?
And 3 years, $100 million.
And his girlfriend's just laughing at him like $100 million.
The Eras tour has grossed over $1 billion.
Just like, that's adorable.
Is Taylor Swift the only person that can thumb their nose at a podcast?
No.
I think there are a lot of people that can, but she's probably the top person who
like
could.
entertainers. Yeah, like Beyonce and Jay-Z and people like that.
They don't do a podcast?
No.
That surprises me. I figured they'd do their own.
Total gross for this tour, it sounds like, is about $1.44 billion right now.
Well, and the ultimate is that Dark MAGA boy bought Twitter for like $44 billion and then tanked it and didn't care. He's like, oh, that's $44 billion. I'm fine. They're saying that dude's going to be worth $1 trillion soon enough. It's a whole other thing. You know, it's about thumbing your nose at things. Give you that guy. He's about to be in charge of the government. Is that like the efficiency program? That guy's about to be
Doge.
The Doge.
Department of Government Efficiency.
How terrifying is that? The dude's going to be slashing.
And they started it with 2 heads. That's efficient.
Yeah.
All right. Well, rest
that.
in peace.
Yeah, don't steal
the
from
glass
people.
sliding doors from the Kelsey and Mahomes house. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how hard it was to break in, but
I'm guessing not that hard.
Yeah, but it's like, you'd think they'd have alarm systems and stuff and, all that.
Or live behind a gate with a little guard station or something.
Cops get called.
I'm just guessing that if you're a smart criminal, none of that stuff. I've seen enough of those shows where criminals just laugh at our attempts.
There aren't many smart criminals, though, because the life of crime is generally not smart. So.
That's true.
And they're greedy.
Yeah, but the person that's doing the snatch and grab is robbing like our houses. The person that's taking down Travis Kelce or Pat Mahomes'
They've
house,
thought about it.
chances are they're probably a little more sophisticated
And
than that.
was the 20 grand in cash? I'm interested in the 20 grand in cash.
Yeah, where was that?
Yeah, he didn't put that in a safe or anything. He just had that laying around.
I don't know. That's kind of
they
cool.
probably
Under
didn't
the
get,
mattress.
didn't get into his safe.
Kind of a baller move though. Just have 20 G's laying around the house.
Well, I was gonna say, look, I hate to do this.
That's like
but
leaving a 20 on your kitchen table for him. Probably.
I was gonna say, I thought 20 grand was a little low for Travis Kelce. I'm a little disappointed in that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if that's not in the safe,
Yeah.
that's just laying around money. I wonder what's in the
That's walking
safe.
around money.
I've told the story that Shannon Sharp carried around like a, I don't know, like a 6-inch folded over stack of hundreds, and he just had a rubber band around him, and he had that with him at all times.
I heard Ditka would do the same thing. He told all the players when they showed up, like, what you need is a broccoli wad. And he had like all this cash wadded up like broccoli, just peeling off bills for
Yeah,
people.
he had 100. So, whatever that is, I don't know what, a thumb to your extended finger of folded 100s is, but if that's what Sharp carried around and he always had it on him, what did he have at the house?
Yeah, may have just been, just laying around money.
Yeah.
Hey, Tay, go grab a couple hundies off the stack.
I don't think
break them off to the pizza boy.
Yeah, I don't think that's safe money. I think 20 G's for Kelce or someone like that. I think that's just
in a drawer.
Yeah. There was the
Yeah,
cash
that makes
bag.
sense.
Maybe the nightstand.
Because you
or
probably
whatever.
tip by the hundreds.
Sure.
And you just tip,
It's just there.
It's just his tipping supply.
Well, I mean,
I have a tipping supply. It's not 20 grand, but
no,
I have one.
Mine's mostly in $2 bills.
Mine's in quarters.
Rob likes to make it hail.
Here you go, kiddo.
He had a shiny quarter there. Bink.
All
Just
right.
saw a fan at the 3-6 Tulsa game has a "We Want Oregon" sign.
That's the thing.
Damn right.
I don't think you do, Tulsa.
Probably not.
3-6 Tulsa might not have the
3-6.
chance.
No.
The club is coming up next. Good strategy or no? And when should you poop on the Fan? Hey, what's up? It's Rob sticking around for the Window Nation. November, your last chance to replace your old and drafty windows before the winter cold weather arrives. So if you've noticed your windows are cracked or leaking, perhaps they will not open or won't stay open, then it's time to call the pros at Window Nation.
What if a criminal throws a rock through it?
Well, you got to replace it.
I got to replace that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to put duct tape on
You
it?
can't just have a.
Well, and if
big
you
open-
replace it, will you get another one free?
Ooh.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Buy one, get one free?
If you only need one,
Oh,
then I just
well,
keep the backup. That way, if they come back,
yeah, just replace another one.
there you go. I like it. Yeah.
So have somebody throw a rock through one of your windows, and then you get two. You only have to pay for one.
Problem solved.
Right now, get 50% off all window styles, double hungs, bows, bays, sliders. It doesn't matter. Plus, you can save even more because for 60 months, 5 years, 0% interest. Not a dime you will have to pay until 5 years down the road. That is a long time for you to save up the money and get that paid off. Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty, and they will install in a day or less. Proven quality and service. Window Nation. It's all they do is windows. So right now is a great time to get new ones. 50% off all styles. To get on their schedule, go to windownation.com or call 866-90-NATION. And please, for the love of Pete, tell them you heard it from Masachi.
Attention! Have you racked up 10,000
A Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Brought to you by 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. Mixed plates like Grandma used to make if your grandma were from the Big Island. Woodstock, Burnside, Beaverton, or online, ate-oh.com. First on the Fan, Week 11 in the NFL kicking off tonight with the Commanders visiting the Eagles. Washington currently with a 7-0 lead, courtesy of a Brian Robinson touchdown. A couple of missed field goals so far for the Eagles. Jake Elliott has missed twice. Meanwhile, former Duck and current Broncos QB Bo Nix wins NFL Rookie of the Week honors for his play against the Chiefs last week. Speaking of Kansas City, they've placed Harrison Butker on the IR with a knee injury. He'll be replaced by Spencer Schrader, who had previously been on the Jets practice squad. In the college ranks, Duck signal caller and Heisman hopeful Dylan Gabriel has been named a finalist for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. He'll compete against Jackson Dart, Shadir Sanders, Curtis Rourke, and Cam Ward for that award. And in baseball, reports indicate Mariners play-by-play man Dave Sims will leave Seattle, head to the Bronx, where he'll replace John Sterling as the Yankees play-by-play announcer. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley from the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
One number does it all for contests and texting your favorite fan shows. The Vancouver Ford text line is 503-864-6FAN. The following show may contain adult themes not suitable for children.
Shut the hell up.
Club 1080 with Isaac and Suk.
It does go well with a chicken.
I didn't know hanging out with you was making me smarter. Full disclosure, Morty, it's not. Temporary superintelligence is just a side effect of the mega seeds dissolving in your rectal cavity. Oh, man. Yeah. And once those seeds wear off, you're going to lose most of your motor skills, and you're also going to lose a significant amount of brain functionality for 72 hours, Morty. Starting right about now.
Club 1080 with Isaac and Suk is brought to you by Pub Beer, the official beer of Cheap Fun.
My eyes are very important to me.
Girl, you something else.
Caitlin Clark is white. Megan Rapinoe.
That's hate, man.
Rocket to the door. You got another thing coming.
And I'm glad you only have that Ralph Salafuja who never got past number 1. Anyway.
Magistics?
Finally, but not last.
I'm sorry. On the welcome site in the neighborhood, a developer is being greedy.
Request denied.
There's a hole in the sky where a tree once stood.
This gets me every time. The hole in the
Such
sky.
a lack of light and sound.
I love this song.
All that's left
You have
is
this on your
bare muddy
Spotify, do you?
ground. A magnificent tree was murdered. The mighty dollar cut it down.
That's right.
There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money. Stand up. There's a hole in the
Stand
sky
up.
where the tree once was. Somebody's making money. Laws protect exceptional trees,
okay.
but the city
Apparently you
grants
don't love it
exemptions
that much.
to these.
Well,
Instead
verse
they
2.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is something that
It's kind
I
of like
have
the national
not heard
anthem.
before.
You feel very patriotic, and then you're like, wait, there's another?
Is it over yet?
There's another part of this? I love anytime someone does a protest or this way, or you see the people standing on the side of the roads with like the flags, you know. And certainly this, yeah. Like, that lady sat around her house and took her valuable, somewhat valuable time and wrote that. Like,
Yeah, she sure did.
She sat down and was like, that's it. These sons of bitches.
That's right.
I have had enough of
She's
this.
passionate.
And I'm going to sit down. Like, she took days, hours, weeks.
I don't know about
And
that.
crafted a song, right?
She's a musician, you know.
She's crafted that thing, practiced it, and then took it to this. I wonder, like, when she was, like, getting ready for the city council, she's like, they have no idea what's
Before I knew, like, the origin of this, I honestly thought it was like Kristen Wiig doing an SNL skit. That's what it sounds like to me.
It's a Seattle City Commission.
Yeah. So
song.
she sat there all day and was like, I am going to just burn a hole through every one of these people with this protest song.
On the welcome site in the neighborhood, a developer is being greedy. There's a hole in the sky.
Can we
where a
stop right
tree
there?
once-
Are they being greedy, or are they just
Doing what a
they-
developer does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I
But
mean, capitalism is greed, so
Yeah.
you're going down
Yeah,
a whole
I
rabbit
think that's
hole.
where we're. Yeah.
So she finished that, got in her Subaru or Nissan Leaf, whatever, all powered on her own self-worth, and went home. And when she got home, was she just like, you know what? Showed them. Did a lot of good work today. We got
welcome sight in the neighborhood.
And then the next day, guess what? They cut down all the damn trees and built that up, whatever they were going to build.
Did they? How do you know that? Are you reporting a follow-up to the Seattle tree song?
I am.
She was denied her request?
I'm guessing that whatever she was asking for with her Bob Dylan-esque protest song.
Request denied.
Exactly. And the developer built whatever they were going to build.
They probably paved Paradise and put up a parking lot.
Yes.
Boy, I loved that.
That was a great reference. See, Buckley, see what happens when you pay attention to the show?
Yeah, you can actually contribute.
We're listening to the dude's story.
Say funny things.
Unwelcome sight in the neighborhood. A developer is being greedy. There's a hole in the sky where a tree once
also
stood.
not true.
No.
Technically.
No. But it's like sometimes I'll be driving around and you just see someone like
over an
overpass. Just one person with a flag, and I'm like,
a magnificent tree was murdered. The mighty dollar cut it down.
Not always, but okay.
There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was.
Stand up!
Somebody's making money. Stand up! There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's
I just imagine she's talking to her husband. You need to support me.
It actually was.
Was it?
Exceptional trees, but the city grants exemptions to these. Instead, they reward the developer's greed and sanction the murderer's deeds. There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money.
Everybody!
There's a hole in the sky where the tree
Someone's
once was. Somebody's making money. No more leaves shimmering with golden light. No more gentle shedding of rain.
There is zero
Nor
hesitation to start that next
blossoms
verse.
rustling in the wind. Now nothing remains.
Yeah!
That hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money. There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money.
What do you think the commission was thinking?
There's a hole
at
in the
this point?
sky, in the sky. Instead of a spreading canopy, there's a hole in the
It's a little
sky.
wonky there. Didn't quite fit that one in.
Instead of a 90-year-old tree, there's a hole in the sky.
yes.
In the sky.
Bringing it.
That tree did not belong to you
No.
or me. There's a hole
That's fair.
in the sky where the tree should be.
Hell yeah, lady. And I think it was her husband because there is video of that. And there was some old hippie guy right next to her.
Stand up!
Who obviously was probably horrified to be
Yeah,
doing that.
probably.
But supporting his wife. You know,
Sure.
we've all been in that spot,
Yeah.
right?
Buckley pretty much on a daily basis, I'm guessing.
Where your wife wants to sing at city council, but
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah,
want to
that's
go along.
exactly how that goes.
That's how you got speed
Speed bumps.
That's why you got
Exactly
speed
right.
bumps at your in your neighborhood. But I just instead of the city council, I would have just liked to have seen what the developer was
Yeah.
thinking.
Go out and sing that to the developers when they pull up their machinery.
Developers.
What does she think? What do you think she thinks of this?
Guessing she's very.
Where's
I mean,
Steve
he
Ballmer?
got the crowd support.
Yeah,
So.
they were loving it.
Or the better part would have been had the developer had a counter song. He's like, wait. Before you make any judgments, hear both songs. And then he sings his counter song to hers. Like, what if he planted trees? Huh? What if as part of his developmental plan that he planted more trees?
Yeah.
And he's like, suck
That's
it,
what
lady.
they make you do in Portland.
Yeah. Yeah! And you're right. This poor bastard here, which I'm assuming is the husband.
Are you watching the vid?
Yeah, I'm watching the vid.
Yeah, you think that's her husband?
That's the husband. He's wearing his disheveled Seahawks t-shirt. He's got some sweet side hair. He doesn't want to be there. He didn't have a choice.
He doesn't have a choice.
No. That's one of those that he woke up that morning and was like, damn it.
He signed up for this a long time ago, and now he's just along for the ride.
He knows.
He's like, he's not making eye contact with anybody. He's just looking around until she turns to him and says,
Stand
"Sing!"
up!
He's like, oh, yeah.
When was the last time you were in this situation with the BTJ?
Where I had to do something like that?
Yeah, it's like,
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think too.
The last time that it was really like, oh man, we're doing this. I'm called to the carpet. Right now, there's a battle in my house. She wants to get matching pajamas for Christmas morning.
Oh,
for
dear.
everybody. Yeah.
I can't think
That's a staple of the Buckley house.
Is it?
Of course
Oh,
it is.
yeah. Once we started it once we had kids. We're like, we'll all wear the same thing on Christmas morning.
And by the way,
Who do I do a show with? Now, whose idea was that?
Whose do you think it was? It was the little guys.
Fair
No,
point.
it was my wife.
there was
Fair point.
so she ordered matching PJs for
So you already have them.
No, but here's the best part. So she ordered matching pajamas. She did not order me a set of matching pajamas because she knew that I would not wear them. And she was very angry about that, right? So and it was one of those you just kind of yelling at me, and I was like, it's a wise move to not order me pajamas. You would have wasted $90. Like they're like onesies.
$90.
Yeah, like really nice. Like, and so they show up. Right? So they show up at the house and open them up, and they're like really nice, like onesie thick, like plush pajamas. So she's all excited about
What's
it.
on them?
They're striped.
Yoda's an S.
Yeah, it's like they're Christmas themed. There's like snowflakes and they're striped and whatnot.
Well, you're a snowflake.
Yeah, and I made the mistake as she was opening them to be like, "What? I didn't get one." It's like, for heaven's sakes, I see.
That really pissed her off.
Oh yeah, it did not go well.
So-
And then she yelled at me, said she was going to order me some, like flipped me off, and then stormed into
Yeah,
the
see,
other
now
room.
I think she might order you some. And you won't wear them.
No.
So now it's just this idea of like, okay, do I order them?
Yeah.
Because now I want him to wear them and I'm pissed. Or do I not order them and save the money because he's not going to wear them?
Well, the fear is then, like, come Christmas morning, there will be a hole in there is a standoff somewhere.
Hole in the sky?
There will be a hole in the sky because there will be a vicious cockfight standoff. If she has the nerve to order me the onesie pajamas, do I have the backbone to not wear them Christmas morning? Because it's going to be a deal. It's going to be an issue. If those get ordered, and I may have overplayed my hand by making fun of them once they arrived, she's pretty pissed about that.
How many? So it's just you and her and.
But yeah,
Is Oren back?
Yeah, everyone's going to be together, including the.
Oh, they'll all be there.
The oldest is coming back from Korea.
Oh,
We're
okay.
all going up to Canada for Christmas.
So all 5 of you will be
Yes,
together
yes.
on Christmas morning.
And there's 4
and
sets.
they will be in PJs
Yes.
that match.
Yes.
And you will be.
As of right now, I do not own a set of matching PJs.
Is that. Why? Can we talk? What is.
I don't know.
What is that about?
It's for photos.
It's for photos.
I
think
it's so you can share it with your family and
it's the
friends and
same-
next year's Christmas card or whatever. I don't know.
It's the same idea as the over the fireplace family photo where you're all wearing the same
Denim
Kind
and a
of.
white button-down
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boy, I've never understood that.
And I just refuse to be a part of those reindeer games.
I do too.
I just won't do it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It just seems so stupid.
Leave me out of this.
Well, I sent you guys the photo of the Buckley family, and look how darn happy we are.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
But
is,
you're not.
Every time I see that photo, I know for a fact that no one in that photo is happy, except for the mom.
Look at the Buckleys. Aw. So they've got the red and black lumberjack
buffalo check, yeah.
checkered. Although your wife, she's not wearing the top. She's got something black on.
Oh, she's like wearing a hoodie over her top.
Well, that's not acceptable.
Well,
this is all her idea.
You're gonna have to take it up with the boss.
Matching PJs.
You got the stockings up there, so traditional.
I just
Buckley's such a traditional man.
I just can't bring myself to do it. So, yeah, like every now and then, like that meets a. I run into that. It's usually something stupid and pointless about things like that, and then she gets really mad at me because I just refuse. And then she just is like, "Why is this such a big deal to you? Why won't you just let me have my way?" And look, it's a valid point, but at the same time,
That's the best argument she could make.
If it's fun for her and it's no skin off your nose,
Yeah.
why not go along?
Yeah.
That argument's decent.
But it is skin
It
off
kind
my
of is,
nose.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it would kill you to put on that onesie.
It would bother me.
It would kill you, but it
would bother me.
I get it. I get it.
You
I'm
know.
I'm not wearing a onesie, but I'll do the,
So is that what we saw there? The red black checkers? Is that every year? Christmas morning?
Well, we've had them for 2 years, 3 years, so I guess. But I hadn't really thought about it.
Does it promote family unity?
See,
Does it send a message
I
to
think it promotes ununity because I don't want to
Well,
do
in
it.
your house it does.
Yeah.
But like in Buckley's house, and he's got littles, which is different than your kids. Does it help the kids understand that we're all in this together.
It kind of is an indicator, hey, this is a special occasion for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be good. I can see.
Isn't it just an indicator that your wife wants to take a photo and put it on Instagram and tell people that you're a happy
Who
family?
says those two things have to be mutually exclusive?
You are the ultimate Grinch. You hate America, high school football, and Christmas.
I love Christmas.
That's true.
I wear a Santa hat.
Me too.
Christmas morning.
America, yeah!
I just don't understand what matching pajamas have to do with Christmas.
Some people find them fun.
You know what I don't like, and I think this goes just to a larger theme. It's my public mourning thing, right? When someone dies, the public grieving, you're not really grieving. You just want to let other people know that you're grieving. That bothers me. If I'm happy, I'm just happy. I don't need to let everyone know.
Well, some people want that support, you know? Like they're grieving.
Do they?
Yes.
Or do they just want people to be like, look at me?
Well, how is it
Nah.
any different than putting lights on your house? Like you're just being festive for the
think
sake
they
of
just-
the sake of the season.
People need other people, and they all need them in different ways. And if just because you don't, somebody else who loses somebody may need that. they might. It's a good support system for them.
But it's a lot of times it's not even you that lost someone. Like Kobe Bryant dies and someone shows up at a sidewalk in LA, lays on the ground sobbing while their friend videotapes them.
We all lost Kobe Bryant.
Like you're not sad, you're just a douche. Kevin Garnett. This is my
Why are you talking about that? What didn't you have a point here?
It's all the same thing. It's the public display. If it really meant that wearing those pajamas made everyone happy and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is wonderful," I would be willing to put on the pajamas.
Well, I think you're
But it's
reading
not.
into it too far. It's just a fun thing to do.
It's not. It's so that you can take a photo and then tell everyone, "Look how perfect and wonderful we are," and that just.
Well, isn't that all of social media?
Yeah, well,
I mean, that's
it's
kind
just
of
dumb.
the whole point of the whole thing.
Which is probably why I'm gonna have a black eye on Christmas morning, but I just don't. That I've never been able to get around the fake persona of look how great. Every Dateline murder starts with "It seemed like the perfect couple," and then you look at her Facebook page and she's like, "Date night with this cutie, luckiest girl alive," right until he murders you. I'm just convinced that. Enough Christmas PJs, enough weird wooded photos, and then one day it's like The Shining, the dude just snaps and he's like, "Nope, I'm done. I can't do it anymore." So you start the process early and just say no, we're not doing this. Give me a Santa hat, give me a glass of eggnog, I'll sing Christmas carols with you, whatever you want. Matching pajamas? No.
So why is you wearing a Santa hat any more fun than someone else wearing matching PJs?
Fair question.
Because I actually,
it's just personal preference.
Because I actually like wearing my Santa hat.
See,
you don't like
but
wearing.
other people could think it's dumb.
You don't like
what
wearing
if I think it's
matching
dumb for you to wear a
pajamas.
fuzzy
You're just
hat?
afraid to say no.
By the way, I think Deal's right. You probably come sliding down the staircase there with your Grinch outfit on, and you steal all the presents and run out the front door. Your kids are all sobbing and crying.
I am a festive man.
That's a
on
bet
Christmas.
you would, or that's a. Bet.
You're right.
That's a bit you would do.
Nah, I love Christmas.
You old
Christmas
Not
is
very much, apparently.
Christmas is
bastard.
amazing. I just love how somehow
I love
match-
Christmas with rules.
Exactly. Have to have matching pajamas or it's not Christmas
far.
morning. What?
Do we have to break? Do we?
Probably.
Do we really?
I mean,
I think we do.
yeah, probably.
I've got some cool stuff coming up. Okay, so stick around on the Fan.
It's the Vancouver Ford text line. Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this SportsCenter update. First on the Fan, Week 11 in the NFL kicking off this evening with the Washington Commanders visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Commanders with a 7-0 lead. It looks like they just stopped the Eagles on 3rd and goal, although there may be a penalty coming. There's about 30 seconds left in the half with the Eagles trying to score. Meanwhile, former Duck and current Broncos QB Bo Nix won Week 10 Rookie of the Week honors for his play against Kansas City last week. Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker headed to the IR with a knee injury. He'll be replaced by Spencer Schrader, who had previously been on the Jets practice squad. In the college ranks, Ducks quarterback and Heisman hopeful Dylan Gabriel has been named a finalist for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. He'll compete for the award with Colorado's Shadur Sanders, Jackson Dart of Ole Miss, Indiana's Curtis Rourke, and Miami's Cam Ward. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Jump back to earlier parts of your favorite fan shows on the Odyssey app. The only way to rewind Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
By the way, I apologize. I said I was excited about this Philadelphia Washington game. Ugh.
It's a close game?
It's close.
I told you.
You called it. Dude,
7-3.
7-3 right now. And
a rock fight for the top of the division.
Yeah, and it's about what you would think. And yes, Jalen Hurts, it's not good. It's not good.
Primetime, New Mexico, where as many as 20 human skulls were found in a home after the man who lived there tossed bones out of a car while hitching a ride.
What?
Good strategy?
Can't say that's a...
Well, I mean, you're not in your own vehicle, so I guess if someone sees it, they're going to maybe trace that other vehicle, although the person that's driving you now sees you throwing bones out of the vehicle.
Yeah, that does seem problematic.
There was somebody... excuse me. The driver claims that the passenger, who was eventually identified as a man named Cecil Venezuela,
That sounds fake, by the
Sorry,
way.
Cecil Villanueva
It's like Joe Vegas was caught earlier today.
made alarming statements and threw items from his vehicle, some of which appeared to be human bones. Now, can you tell if it's human bones? You know, like if you're chucking
like a femur?
Yeah, well, maybe a femur you could, but like, what if it's like just a little, like a vertebrae or something?
Probably not. I mean, it'd be hard. If it was just a individual bone and not part of something, you would struggle to know. You would know it was something big. It wouldn't be a dog or whatever. But if you had like a human finger or something, yeah, that'd probably be, it'd be hard to identify. Skull, you certainly could. Be like, hey, I know what that is.
Hey, wait.
They're eating the dogs.
Who was that? Police searched the area near a convenience store. They found bone fragments that a pathologist later confirmed as human. Authorities executed then a search warrant on the home the following day and found additional bone fragments, including part of a skull and jawbone. They said 10 to 20 human skulls were discovered during a second search of the house 3 days later.
Yeah, can I say that if you do have a bunch of human skulls and whatnot, my guess is you've probably killed some people. Maybe not alert people to your presence by throwing said bones out of a car.
So not a good strategy.
No, it seems poor. Now, to be fair, I've never tried to hide murder or evade capture in this sort of way, but it just doesn't seem like that's a solid strategy. Like, you've gotten away with it up until this point. Are you like trying to taunt the cops and be like, "Hey, check this out"? Just doesn't seem like a good idea. Like wearing Christmas pajamas.
Well, they're also
just seems
saying
like a poor idea.
He's in custody, but they're saying that investigators think he actually bought the skulls. Online.
You can do that?
You can.
Apparently. I can buy human bones. And if so, what does a human bone cost me?
Text your girl Jody.
Yeah. Well, I know you can buy like medical schools and stuff can buy cadavers and stuff, but I don't know if I can buy. Can I buy a dead body?
Ooh. Good question.
Dead human. I
don't think you could. Like, why would, unless somebody was selling it privately?
Yeah, it says right here, in almost every state, it is legal for anyone, even if they do not have training, to sell human remains of adults.
It is legal?
Yeah. It says few rules mean few consequences when bodies are mistreated.
Well, it's like kind of a personal. It's a disgusting one, but a personal choice, right? Like,
yeah, I'm hearing there's a article called "The Body Trade,"
and you could say the deceased wanted it this way. I mean, even though they probably didn't. But.
Yeah, it says right here. I'm looking here. Almost anyone can buy and dissect and sell the dead. I had no idea. I assumed that there had to be some sort of medical license.
Well, how do you? But the hard part is finding someone who'd be willing to sell you their granny. You know. Like, who's selling their loved ones' bodies?
I think a lot of people.
You think so?
People are awful. You care to guess what a human body is going for in decent condition?
Ooh. What do you mean decent condition? They're dead.
Well, like, it's not all
like it hasn't decomposed.
It hasn't decomposed. It's not mangled. Now you can't sell organs.
We talking dark web?
No. This is
it's all legal.
This is all on the up and up.
That is a really fascinating question. Okay,
it's
so you
non-transplant tissue. So like that you can't do. You can't sell a kidney. You can't sell a heart.
Why?
Because then that gets into like, the waiting lists, and that is you cannot do that.
Waiting lists.
Yes.
Okay.
Selling hearts, kidneys, tendons, anything like that is illegal because there's a waiting list. Otherwise, rich people would always have would hey, I need a heart transplant. Cool, I'm rich, you're not, I get the heart. That's not the way that works. But no federal law governs the sale of cadavers or body parts for use in research and education, and they put those in quotation marks because you can basically make up anything you want. You could say that you're using it for your own education at your house, and as long as you say it's for education and not for necrophilia.
Right. Wow.
Which, by the way, apparently, I'm reading this is on Reuters.
Isn't it Reuters?
Or is it Reuters?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently this is, unfortunately, part of it is some people are buying these for...
Well, yeah, but we don't need to get into that. But
it is... reading from the article.
It is legal, and so it has a price on there.
Yes, there is a price. It says, and this is from Angela MacArthur, who directs the body donation program at the University of Minnesota Medical School. She says, "quote It is the current state of affairs is a free for all."
Oh wow!
Whoa! What
I
an
tell
industry.
you what. Did you ever do the? I think you and I have talked about this. Buck, did you ever do the cadaver lab at Oregon?
No,
I did. Yes.
One of the coolest things that I ever got to do in college. I know that sounds terrible. That's not a good way to say that. I thought the cadaver lab.
Yes.
In
it's the most interesting class I've ever taken.
Human, I guess it would be
gross human anatomy.
Yeah, human anatomy,
Mhm.
which was a very tough course.
Yes.
Because it's just rote memory of all that stuff.
Yep.
But the cadaver lab was so freaking awesome.
I mean, I find that stuff fascinating.
So
when I was
awesome.
in high school, I dissected a frog and a cow's eye and stuff like that, but not like human cadaver stuff.
It's just interesting. But I'm going to go, okay. I'm going to go. I'm going to buy a
I'm
body.
curious what demand is like. And supply.
It sounds like it's a lot.
It's huge.
So
This
if
again
there's-
from the same article.
If there's a lot of demand.
Big market for dead bodies.
Okay, so that means the price is higher than I would have thought. Most of them are donated to like universities and stuff.
Yes.
They don't have to pay for those.
Yes, it says in here, it says the need for human bodies is absolutely vital for medical research and stuff. And the schools want there to be regulations because they're having to compete with, the ne'er-do-wells out there that want them for whatever. So the schools actually go out and solicit donors.
Yeah. Yeah, because so it's obviously expensive enough that the schools don't want to pay for them.
Yes.
I'm going to say $30,000.
I was going to go $50K.
No, it is not.
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
How much?
So depending on where you're at, and so younger bodies are more coveted than older bodies.
Don't.
Why is that?
Just stop. Shut up.
You want to guess which?
Shut up!
Do you want to guess which is more expensive, male or female?
No. Stop. How much?
Stop. It varies. It varies.
Just give me an average, will you?
Which is more expensive, male or female?
Well, the female's more expensive.
Female's more expensive.
I hate this show.
So you can.
How much?
You can get a male for around $3,000.
Whoa.
Wow.
A female will run you closer to $5,000, and if it's in pristine, young condition, it will top $10,000.
See, I was going to go like 12 before I thought the demand was high. I'm stunned that you can get a body for $3K.
All of this is blowing my mind.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
no idea that was a thing.
You can get. By the way, you can buy it in sections. If you just want a torso with legs, you can get that for $3,500.
You get a little discount.
If you just want a head, that'll run you about $500. Hey, the best bang
you can
for your
buy a human head for $500.
$500
intact.
That's crazy.
Who does that? Like, who takes the? Then who is in charge of just
again? This
like
is
severing the head. Like, do you take it to a head severer?
You can do it yourself. I mean, there is no rules. Like,
yeah, but then you'd have to buy the whole body.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is people buy the bodies and then they broker them. So there are body brokers.
Oh,
that's where Sook fits in.
Yeah, so we could get into this business.
Well, I'm not in this. I don't want to.
So it's $500 for a head. Although, look, I'm thinking the head may be the biggest bang for your buck. So $500 for a
Sook's
head.
got ideas for this industry.
He's loving this.
A foot, $350.
What's the cheapest?
I'm looking here.
A finger, a little digit.
Yeah,
hand
you can get
or something?
You can get a hand. Looks like you can get a hand.
What's an ear going to cost me?
A what?
An ear.
That it doesn't say on here. They just have it down into feet, hands, head, torso. Not bad. You don't get the skull with it, but $300 for a spine.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Does that do
spine?
Does that do anything for you?
No.
I thought that was kind of a good price. I mean, a spine costs less than a foot.
Now, can I ask another question? Maybe a more morbid question, but the people who have died, do they want this?
Okay, so again, I'm just reading through this.
Or do they just not care?
And it sounds like some of this comes from the family can't afford to pay for funeral costs.
Okay, that crossed my mind.
Some of this is the dead's wishes that they don't want to burden the family.
Yeah.
And some of this is derelicts that are, homeless people and whatnot. And then it looks like the other one, unfortunately, is sometimes families that aren't really close to the relatives, but they have charge of the body. Once they find out that you can get money for this, they're like, screw grandma.
Wow. Screw grandma.
And morticians, I guess, are part of this too. So the brokers, it's a whole industry here. The brokers pay morticians referral fees.
Mm-hmm.
So if a mortician, so you go to a mortician and the mortician's like, hey, if this is going to run you $5,000, and the people are like, oh my God, that mortician would be like, well, you can pay me $5,000 and obviously I'll take care of it, or you can make some money.
Give me a cut of all the...
Yes, and the mortician will take, depending on whether it's the whole body or parts, the mortician gets anywhere from $300 to $1,400 for referring the dead family to the broker. Wow. It's a whole industry.
Mind blown.
Yes. And by the way, the morticians, I guess some of these guys are like raking it in.
All right, we got to go. We got to wrap it up next. Andrew Nemec coming up in 10 minutes on The Fan.
Oregon Ducks football is on the Fan.
Whittington behind Gabriel. The snap, and Keats going to go left, and will score! Jumps into the end zone. Dylan Gabriel.
Pre-game, game action, and post-game coverage of the Ducks' first Big Ten season is brought to you by Coors Light, Mountain Cold Refreshment. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Ultimately, what should the Big Ten know about Oregon?
Brought to you by Pub Beer, the official beer of Cheap Fun.
Can I get a hot tub?
All right, well, we got to run.
Dude, this article is bananas, by the way. This whole body.
There's more?
There is so much more to this. I guess they're saying now that less and less people are getting buried, and mortuaries are saying cremations aren't paying the bills anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So more and more mortuaries are turning to this, and a lot of times they're not even telling the family. They're just having them.
No.
They're having basically sign over the body and be like, basically, we'll take care of everything. And
that's got to be illegal.
No, it's not. They get them to sign.
That's got to be illegal.
No, they get them once you sign the waiver and the body goes over, and they give them a couple $100 for their expenses.
But if they sign it with the idea that the body's being cremated,
no, it's not. Like they're just saying, hey, we'll take care of the body, and they're saying that'll go to research or whatever, and they give the family a couple $100. And then they just go and they're saying this is becoming.
They just pay you a little bit to not care what happens to
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
And there's no regulate, like chainsaws are involved. And like, I'm telling you, look up the thing on Body Brokers.
Big Souk Body Broker coming to a town near you.
Dude, I am floored by some of the stuff I read in that article. And there's no
what do I
laws.
care? I'm dead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I don't care.
There's money to be made.
You're going to enjoy this piece of sexy butt.
One guy in Hawaii that was chastised for it, he goes, you try finding a business where you don't have to pay for any materials. And I was like, ew.
Well, don't you have to pay for...
Yeah, very little.
All right. Well, you guys want to
On
hear
that
about...
happy note,
Yeah.
everyone should be wearing matching pajamas for Christmas.
You want to hear about recruiting? I'm guessing that's what he'll talk about next. Andrew Nimick.
I don't think it'll be PJs and bodies.
Hot cadaver talk.
Just get a head shake.
He loves it.